Sports After Hours with Tommy Lugauer, 7 to midnight. WFAN, WFAN FM, WFAN FM HD1 New York, and Odyssey Sports Station. Evan Roberts. Tiki Barber. It's Evan and Tiki on WFAN, The Fan, 1019 FM, and always live on the free Odyssey app.
Oh, how we doing on this fine, what's today, Tuesday? I'm mad at Tiki. He got me into soccer, and U.S. soccer sucks. Why did I waste 2 hours last night, bro?
Come on, man. Come on. You did a little bit, but it's only because, I hate to start this way because I don't want to kill Team USA.
Do it,
but
kill them.
They were not ready for their moment. I mean, when we had all of these expectations for what Team USA was going to do, Flo Balogun, we talked about a soccer suspension for 2 hours yesterday, and he basically didn't do anything. I know he had a couple of chances in front of the goal, but he could never net it. And then Christian Pulisic gets hurt. He felt like he was a shell of himself. Tim Freeze
went to take control of the situation. Instead, a Belgium player immediately breaks for it, and within the 5 or so defenders in the area on their heels, he primes Belgium with a scoring opportunity. Look, like any other sport, you cannot stand around and look, you need to take control. The Belgium striker was, in essence, I'll give you this comparison I thought of all by myself. No one emailed me. Mm-hmm. In essence, he was OG. And the U.S. team were the Spurs, caught staring as a ready and prime player sticks to them and crushes their sports soul. Good breakdown, right, Tiki?
I mean, it's a fantastic breakdown. I mean, look, I'll give credit to De Ketelare, who scored the first goal for Belgium. That was just him hustling into the box and, on a cross. It was good hustle. But then Malik Tillman, just like he did in the previous match against Turkey, he netted a free kick. It was awesome, right? All of a sudden, it's 1-1. USA is back in this thing. And not 2 minutes later, Tim Ream, who is a fullback for the U.S., just stands in the box. The ball is serviced in the middle of the box. You cannot sit there and wait. You have to attack the ball. He sits there and waits, and De Ketelare, whatever his name is, climbs his back and heads it into the goal. And it was all of a sudden, it felt like it was over. The aggressiveness, you nailed it, Evan, even though I know you didn't write that. The U.S. was not aggressive enough against a Belgian team that was pissed off because of the whole Flo Balogun suspension of his suspension, and they played with a heightened energy, and the U.S. couldn't match it. And then once Christian Pulisic got hurt, it felt like the subs came in, and they tried, but they just fell short. They weren't ready for their moment. That's ultimately what it was. They weren't ready for their moment.
What I'm very curious about, and we'll hear from the people, 888-808-1019, and certainly you, and I remember bringing this up during the U.S. bid during the Olympics, during hockey. I said, right, does it give you the stomach pain and the anxiety and the excitement like your team normally does? And I'll give you an example. Despite the Mets being buried and their season being over, I would admit to you that last night I got the stomach pains. The Mets have this great comeback, then they blow the lead, then they take the lead back, then they almost blow it again. Like, I had
Devin Williams experience.
Oh, man, it was on full display. And even though we all know the season is over, I admit my stomach was doing things. I think for Yankee fans over the last couple of days, and even to a degree last night, especially when you're getting perfected by Griffin Jacks into the fifth inning, your stomach is doing things. What I'm so curious about with the soccer fan or even the non-soccer fan, because I heard Al Dukes talking this morning about all the people pretending to like soccer. You're not one of them, Teak. He's not talking about you, but he is talking about a lot of people that never pay attention to soccer, and all of a sudden they quote-unquote care. What I am curious about is, did your stomach care? Like, did you have the same emotions watching that game last night that the Yankee fan, the Met fan, the Giant fan, the Jet fan, the Knick fan who just won a championship that you normally have watching your team? Or was it more kind of what it was for me? And I'd admit it. I'm watching, but I'm so emotionally not like losing sleep over it. If that makes sense.
I was dialed into it for a couple of reasons. One, because the only way to make the Flo Balogun thing go away and prove that he was worth what Donald Trump and the U.S. government did to get him his suspension suspended was for him to go ball, was for him to go be great. And you didn't feel it early. You didn't feel like there was a plan. It was almost what we talked about yesterday, Evan, where they practiced for the last 3 or 4 days with the expectation that he wasn't going to play. And so whoever it was, Ricardo Pepi or whoever was going to take his place, likely was more prepared for what Belgium was going to do and how they were going to play and sit back and then counter and all these other things. And he felt like a non-factor. So when Malik Tillman – so I was watching the first, couple of minutes. They score in 10 minutes. And then I'm saying, all right, well, this is just not going to work out. And then they equal it, right? Malik Tillman with a free kick. They equal it. And now I'm reinvested. So I had not given up, but they're just not ready. And then I got reinvested again. They are ready for this now. Now that should jumpstart their engine. That should make them turn into the team that we saw against Paraguay and then Australia and even Turkey, to an extent. And then ultimately they concede right away. And I didn't want to turn it off because I know that would have been cheap, and I didn't. But as soon as they conceded, I went right back to my original emotion. So it wasn't like I was watching it as a team that I love, but more as I wanted them to prove people wrong, and they didn't. And
no, they didn't.
It's disappointing more than anything.
No, and I think, honestly, not that I care that much about this, and I think most of us are going to be able to move on and think about other things like Andre Drummond replacing Mitchell Robinson or Cam Schlittler being the most dominant pitcher in baseball, or if the Mets should trade Lindor or not. But I think last night we were being laughed at. I got to be honest with you.
Oh, there's no doubt about it, Evan. There's no doubt about it.
It's not squarely because the president got involved. It's not necessarily just about him. It's just about us. We're America. We're the big, bad, evil guy, right? Even though we're not evil, but the rest of the world wants to beat us because we're the best at everything. So I think it's more, not that we're the bad guys, but we're big. We're not, what's that, Jimmy and the Beanstalk? Jack and the Beanstalk?
Jack and the Beanstalk.
No, it's the wrong analogy.
David Goliath. David and Goliath. There
Yeah, we're Goliath. We're Goliath and everything. So when we get knocked down, even in something we know we're not that good at, the world celebrates. It's not an evil thing. It's not a vicious thing. It's just the reality. And I think last night, based on us getting quote-unquote blown out by Belgium and the fact that something odd happened that led to one of our better players playing, I think last night around the world, as much as we were able to move on, we got laughed at. That's how I view what happened last night.
No, you're right. You're not – what did Belgium? What did their official account send out? What did it say? Something like reverse this or something like. I forgot what they said.
They trolled us. Yeah.
They trolled us, right? And by the way, we deserve to be trolled. In some ways, I almost wish that Flo Balogun hadn't played. So if they get destroyed like we got destroyed, at least we'd have an excuse. The only excuse that we have as Team USA is we sucked on the biggest stage when it mattered the most. We don't move past this quarterfinal round for a reason, and many examples of why. And it's quality of team. It's whatever. This team should have gone deeper, and they crapped the bed when it mattered most. So we're getting laughed at. There's no doubt about it, Evan.
The other thing that happened last night, and we built it up yesterday, I think rightfully so. I heard Big Mac building it up as well, that last night's Yankee game was incredibly important. 4 games against Tampa Bay. They've struggled recently. The tiebreaker scenario, the fact that you don't want to bury yourself any more than you already are in the American League East, and, of course, your aces on the mound in Cam Schlittler. I came away from this win with 3, and I want you to guess them. A few of them are obvious. One of them will surprise you. 3 reasons why my confidence in the New York Yankees are through the roof, just simply based on 1 game last night in Tampa, Florida. 3 reasons. Would you like to guess them?
Well, one is going to be this. I'm going to transpose my reasons, and maybe they match with yours. So, number 1, Cam Schlittler is becoming the alpha. He is the example, right? He is what Jeremy Shockey was when he came to the New York Giants, a young player who said, "Damn you, I'm a baller. And if you don't like it, I'll fight you." That was Shockey. That is exactly who Cam Schlittler is, and I love it because we talk all the time about how Boone doesn't have this aggressive attitude, or even Aaron Judge, Giancarlo Stanton, even though he's a vocal leader, he's quiet. You know what I mean? Cam Schlittler feels like that guy's going to get up in your face and scream at you. for not performing. And so that's number one. Am I correct?
Oh, no doubt about it. And it's twofold. You mentioned the chip on his shoulder that he has, even if it's a created chip, because after the game, he talks about those people. I don't even know what people he's talking about that thought he was regressing because of his one bad start, 2 mediocre starts, but one really bad start.
Right.
I don't think I heard anybody, whether it's on WFAN or the podcast world, maybe some schmuck on Reddit, would actually say, hey, I think Cam Schlittler is regressing. I think that it's
No. Evan, not regressing. Effing regressing.
Effing regressing, yes. Which
right.
the Yes Network not only bleeped out, but they silenced the quote for like 9 seconds. Because I was hoping I was going to actually get to hear Cam Schlittler say it, and then we would beep out the effing. The Yes got rid of it. So if you missed it, Schlittler after the game is like, yeah, all those people that effing thought I was regressing. So he creates Michael Jordan-esque fake, I guess, issues. Because no one said that.
No,
Nobody said that.
Well, nobody in their right mind would say that.
Right.
That's number one. All right, so number
one is Schlittler. And by the way, one other thing to add on Cam, it's not just that he built in this fake outrage thing.
Yeah.
It's the fact that he's made a handful of quote-unquote big starts. We all remember last year in the playoffs against the Red Sox, no doubt. That is a big start. For a regular season game, this was a big start. We all laid it out yesterday. And he delivered 8 scoreless innings in a game in which the first 5 innings, his offense did nothing. He needed to be perfect. He needed to be flawless, and he was. And so that probably even more than the outrage he had was so impressive against the Tampa Bay Rays on the road, a game you need to have. And this son of a bitch goes out and throws 8 scoreless innings. Wow.
Yeah, with eight strikeouts, and it felt like every inning was 3 up, 3 down, 3 up, 3 down, 3 up, 3 down. It's exactly what you needed in that moment against a team that has jumped ahead of you because of your ineptitude. Number 2, this has to be the wake-up call for, I'm going to say Brian Cashman, but I'm going to concede and assume that it's Aaron Boone, that Jose Caballero has to be your everyday shortstop. Stop messing around with this Anthony Volpe stuff. If you want to get him in the lineup, tell Jazz to sit down for a couple of days, put him at second base. Jose Caballero, after hurting his finger and finally getting some run consistently, the dude is a baller. And if you play him consistently, you don't know what he can become. So enough with the platooning shortstop nonsense. Give me Jose Caballero every single day at shortstop.
And I'll give you another reason, and you're right, that was the second thing that pumped me up, that he needs to be the guy. I know that Caballero is incredibly versatile, and that's a great attribute to have. But he is the shortstop for the New York Yankees. And even when you look at the trade market and potential additions, I don't think they're adding anybody that's going to replace him or Volpe to be the shortstop. They're not trading for Francisco Lindor. We can get that out of our heads. So Caballero is going to be the shortstop. So I think it's going to behoove him and really the rest of the team to say, hey, listen, Jose, we love your versatility. We love the idea you can play third base, you can play left field, you can play right field. But right now, we want you to just focus on being the shortstop because you are the shortstop. And I have said this for months about Anthony Volpe. If he is going to have a major league role, he needs to be a guy that can bounce all over the diamond. It's the same way Brett Beatty can somehow still be a major leaguer despite hitting .215. Go play every position. So I think it's important right now, not only for Caballero's name to be in the lineup every day, but even on days where you want to push him to third and do that. I don't think that's smart anymore. He's the shortstop. Let him play the position all the time because he is far and away their best option as the everyday shortstop. And you're right, Tiki. I think last night, especially against his former team, he's also got a chip on his shoulder. It was the perfect exclamation point to it.
Well, you know what I appreciated about it, Evan, is that Jose Caballero, again, he's utility. He's jumping around. He's playing intermittently. Sometimes he's at short. Sometimes he's at third. Sometimes he's in the outfield. Like, he's all over the place. And we talked about this, and there's no doubt that the New York Yankees themselves know this. And they knew it going into this series against the Tampa Rays, that this series was important. Like, it meant something. It's why Cam Schlittler pitched the way that he did, because when things get tough, somebody's got to stand up and be tougher. Cam Schlittler did that. Jose Caballero gets a chance to play shortstop yesterday in a game that means a ton. And what does he do? 4 RBIs and 2 bombs, right? Like, when you give somebody – in baseball, it's hard to do that. Like, in football, it's like, all right, you're going to get your chance. You're going to start at linebacker today, right? You go out there, you act crazy. You go around. You have more energy than anybody, and you can do it physically. Baseball is a game of precision, and in a game of precision, Jose Caballero was perfectly precise when this team needed it, and there's something to that, right? Because there's a lot of guys who you'll put in a position in baseball, not in other sports, but in baseball, and say, you know what, go do it for us today. Let's win one for the Gipper. Let's get it done. And they crack, or they falter, or they fall apart. Jose Caballero didn't do that. He was given a chance, and he dominated against a Rays team who had now only a 3-game lead on the Yankees.
So 2 things, very obvious. Cam Schlittler, Jose Caballero. Can you name the third thing? Because this is very, very important and very underrated, and I'm going to give you a hint. It actually has nothing to do with the New York Yankees.
This has to do with the Tampa Rays.
It has to do
the pressure
with the Tampa Bay Rays.
The Tampa Rays are going to feel the pressure, and they're going to collapse under the weight of the Yankees.
That's a very fair guess. Not really. Do you have by chance your phone or a tablet in front of you?
Yes,
if not, I can
do.
take care of this. I would like you to pull up the box score of yesterday's game between the New York Yankees and the Tampa Bay Rays.
Yes,
and when
I
you
have
pull it up, okay, can you tell me the leadoff hitter for the Tampa Bay Rays?
The leadoff hitter for the Tampa Bay Rays was
Yandy
Diaz. Yes.
Tremendous player. No issue. The second place hitter is a guy by the name of Jonathan Aranda. Also, terrific player. No issues.
Yeah.
The third place hitter is a guy who's had an unbelievable year, Junior Caminero. So all good. All respected. Can you tell the audience, in case they didn't realize, who the freaking cleanup hitter was for the Tampa Bay Rays? The team that, it's the Rays. Oh, they're so scary. Tell the world, in case they weren't paying attention, who the cleanup hitter was for the Rays last night.
A blistering soon-to-be Hall of Famer, Cedric Mullins. Who's hitting 210? Are you kidding me? What?
That's the team.
Right.
I mean, come on. Yankee fans, I understand it. Like, you don't love your lineup. Oh, we got Jason Dominguez batting fifth. Some days Anthony Volpe's batting fifth. I get it. Austin Wells is still playing every day. The Tampa Bay Rays, the team with the best record in the American League, the team that's a threat to you, Kevin Cash, great manager. He actually wrote out a lineup card and put Cedric Mullins as the cleanup hitter. You're afraid of that?
That he hasn't consistently been there, has he? There's no way he's consistently been the cleanup hitter. It was almost like he was trolling the Yankees.
Well, you know what it is? I hate to say this because it's a baseball thing. The cleanup spot is no longer what it used to be.
True, but it perceptually still is.
It's supposed to be still a spot where you're going to put a good hitter in, but I think nowadays your best hitters are 1, 2, 3. And as I laid out with Tampa Bay, they have a really good 1, 2, 3. I am not crapping on Junior Caminero, Jonathan Aranda, or obviously Yandy Diaz, who's like a walking batting title. The Rays have a very good top 3. And so I understand the sport has changed. I acknowledge that. But I was scoring the game last night. I was having some fun. I was doing like a shorthand score. And when I wrote down Cedric Mullins in the cleanup spot, I lost my mind. Like, I started laughing uncontrollably for 6 minutes straight, and I put myself together and said, okay, Evan, let's refocus. That's your rival in the American League East. A team that actually wrote out a lineup card with the 210 hitting Cedric Mullins as the cleanup hitter.
Wow. Yeah, that's bad.
If you don't win the American League East, it's kind of embarrassing. Come on.
I mean,
this is our competition.
Okay, so last year, because I know why this, because he was with the Mets. I forgot he was with the Mets.
You think I was just randomly picking on Cedric Mullins? You think I'm just a mean guy?
I just forgot he was with the Mets, where he had 182 last year. The year before that, he was 229 in Baltimore, 230. I mean, he's a 230-ish hitter in his career.
I'm half joking. My point is, watching Tampa Bay, and I don't mean to shortchange them completely, like Griffin Jacks, up until the Yankees finally got to him, was having a good year. Shane McClanahan is healthy. He's having a good year. Nick Martinez is having a good year. Like, Tampa Bay can pitch, and I do respect them. And Kevin Cash is one of the better managers in baseball, so I do respect them. But they're nothing to be fearful of. And I think when the Yankees are at their best and they're healthy, which I know they're not right now, they are better than this team. They should win this division. And if they can find a way to split, just to keep themselves within striking distance and buy more time to get healthy, I still fully expect that when the end of the day comes, the New York Yankees will win the American League East.
Yeah, I mean, and when if you get a pitching performance, who's pitching today? Austin Warren?
Will Warren, yeah.
Austin Warren. Will Warren is pitching today. If you get another good pitching outing, I mean, there is still signs, Evan, that you're worried about. The fact that
how many hits did they have last night?
Right, they were hitless until the fifth inning, right? And the first hit was a home run, right? It just there are some worries that I don't think are going to go away. And I was listening to Big Mac when I was on the plane yesterday, and he was so right. If Aaron Judge doesn't come back at some point, then you're truly worried that this team is not going to be able to pull through. We talked about it briefly yesterday, how just his influence in the lineup, even though he's having somewhat of a bad season, is so paramount for this team. It is obvious they need somebody who can consistently get you hits and threaten opposing pitchers. And without Aaron Judge, they're not doing it.
We got a lot to do today. Your soccer calls, your Yankee calls. We'll mix in what the Mets are going to do with the trade deadline as well. And your calls all day long. 888-808-1019 is the toll-free number. Plus, Tiki will give us specific details on why, in the middle of July, he is in Indianapolis, Indiana. It is fascinating stuff. But right now, Yankee fans, it is time for the Yankee turning point of the game. The first call to correctly identify yesterday's turning point of the game at 866-540-WFAN. You'll receive a $100 Wendy's gift card from our friends at Wendy's. Eat great even late at Wendy's, and your flagship station for New York Yankee baseball, The Fan. Our friends at Town Fair Tire remind you that at Town Fair Tire, you always get the guaranteed lowest price on name brand tires. From Connecticut to Maine, nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody.
And this portion of the program is sponsored by Surfside Iced Tea and Lemonades plus vodka. It's not a seltzer, it's a Surfside.
The road to kickoff 2026 starts now. From off-season moves to position battles and the biggest storylines surrounding the Giants and Jets, WFAN is getting you ready for football season. Expert analysis, breaking news, insider insight. Football lives here. WFAN.
Here's a World Soccer Championship recap.
Brought to you by Lowe's. Members get more at Lowe's. And by the first ever Infiniti QX65. The United States is out of the tournament after a 4-1 loss to Belgium in Seattle. The lone bright spot was another Malik Tillman goal off a set piece in the 31st minute. But the USA conceded what turned out to be the game-winning goal 2 minutes later. Belgium advances to the quarterfinals to face Spain. I'm Mike Conti.
Bring the flavor to the World Soccer Championship with Crush Orange Soda. Crush is the perfect pick for every match, highlight, and game-winning goal. Make every match even sweeter with Crush Orange Soda.
There's nothing more refreshing than an ice-cold Surfside iced tea and vodka or Surfside lemonade and vodka to break the heat. Surfside is only 100 calories and 0 bubbles. That's right, no carbonation. It's not a seltzer, it's Surfside. Must be 21, please drink responsibly.
When you own your own business, you need to keep things moving. Need to book a last-minute flight? Earn a $300 travel credit to cover that. Need to take a meeting before takeoff? Do it from the comfort of the Chase Sapphire Lounge by the club. Need to catch your breath before you board? Done. Chase Sapphire Reserve for Business, the business card that gives back all you put in. Visit chase.com/reserve business to learn more. Cards issued by JPMorgan Chase Bank, N.A. member FDIC, subject to credit approval. Terms apply.
The World's Game at BetMGM is here. Bet on the soccer showdowns with 2-up early payout so that if you're up 2, BetMGM will pay you. That's right. Place a pre-game straight match result bet on any tournament game. If at any point your team is up by 2 goals, you'll instantly win your bet. Then enjoy BetMGM's same-game parlays, daily promotions, player props, and so much more for the World's Game. Don't miss your shot at an early win with 2-up early payout to get paid out if at any point your team is up by 2 goals, regardless of the final outcome of the match. Make it a tournament to remember with BetMGM. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. Gambling problem? Call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 plus years of age to wager and physically present in New York only. New and existing customer offer, subject to eligibility requirements. Additional terms and restrictions may apply.
Orgavattazona? Is that a word? In the 2026 Kia Sportage Turbo Hybrid, it might as well be, because it can be one road trip. It's all about turbocharged power and hybrid efficiency working together, so you get the thrill of quick acceleration and the satisfaction of fuel efficiency. Book a test drive and keep the adventure going. Kia, movement that inspires.
Call 800-3334-KIA for details. Always drive safely.
If you're a small business owner, choosing the right wireless provider can make a huge difference. Trust me on this. That's why I've always and only partnered with Verizon Business. Their My Biz plan makes it easy to build a wireless plan that fits the exact way you work. Period. Stop. Get the flexibility and reliability your business deserves, including built-in security or international calling. Connect with a Verizon Business rep today at verizon.com/bizfans and get started right away.
Skechers elite athlete OG Anunoby has been making history on the basketball court.
Anunoby tips it in. Unbelievable. What a shot.
He's been balling out in Skechers high-performance basketball sneakers, and the world is noticed. But how does OG train off the court to keep in peak physical condition? Hands-free Skechers Slip-ins Aeroburst. They help prepare OG for the physical demands of playing at a championship level. Get your pair of Aeroburst for only $165 at a Skechers store, Skechers.com, or wherever high-performance running shoes are sold.
Recovering from an addiction is an individual accomplishment. A young mother who chose recovery to care for her family. A high school athlete overcoming opioid addiction. A couple celebrating his recovery. Everyone's recovery is different, and there's no shame in asking for help. Call 844-REACH-NJ. Trained counselors are available 24/7 to help you find the recovery option that's best for you. Tell us your story, and let's begin your recovery today. A message from New Jersey Human Services.
Oh, hey, Sarah. Did you hear my daughter Katie got Camper of the Week?
That's a big deal.
We got a big deal too, right, Mom?
Honey, shh.
What's that?
Okay, that Hyundai Santa Fe, I only paid.
Nice.
Deal's so right, it almost feels wrong. The Hyundai Getaway Sales Event. Get 0% APR for 60 months, plus 0 payments for 90 days, or 1.9% APR for 72 months on the Hyundai Tucson, Santa Fe, or Santa Fe Hybrid during the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event. Hurry, offer ends August 3rd. Call 562-314-4603 for details.
This is the story of the one who keeps multiple buildings running smoothly day after day. Plumbing that flows, HVAC that hums, cleaning supplies that keep surfaces sparkling. That's why she counts on Grainger. With easy reordering online and 24/7 support, Grainger helps her keep the products she needs on hand. So shelves stay stocked and buildings stay ready. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
David is a real Prevagen user, and this is his story.
Nice to meet you. My name is David. I've been a pharmacist for 44 years, and I'm from Flowery Branch, Georgia. When I first started taking Prevagen, I noticed stuff just seemed to come together and fit like a jigsaw puzzle. When I have customers come in, I recommend Prevagen. Number one, because it's safe and effective, does not require a prescription, and I've been taking it quite a while myself, and I know it works. I wouldn't recommend something like Prevagen if I didn't think it was worth it because it works so good for me. And I love it when the customers come back in and tell me, David, that really works so good. It makes my day.
Prevagen, at stores everywhere without a prescription. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Testimonialist was compensated for their time.
Hi, I'm Patty, founder of Awesome Tex. I started with a big idea to give old clothes a new life by turning them into recycled fibers and threads. Everyone told me that this was going to be impossible, but Chase for Business believed in me. They gave me a lot of guidance from the beginning.
Get financial guidance from bankers in the New York community and convenient digital tools all in one place. Learn more at chaseforbusiness.com. Make more of what's yours. Real customers compensated. JP Morgan Chase Bank, N.A. member FDIC.
The savings are here! The savings are here!
Happy birthday, America!
It's America's 250th birthday.
We're celebrating all month long at Nielsen Dodge
by giving you freedom of choice. Save up to $250 off service. Save up to $250 off accessories.
with leases for $250 or under.
You'll start feeling the vibes the minute you arrive. Fun is in the driver's seat.
Lisa new 2026 Jeep Grand Cherokee Limited 4x4. Just $250 a month. Yes, just $250 a month.
There's always zero down payment. The credit help you need. More savings with your trade-in.
And of course, great deals. For leases $250 or under, hurry to Route 10 in East Hanover. Online at nielsendodge.com.
At Nielsen Dodge.
Fun is in the driver's seat.
Make this the summer event. With approval, term 24 months, due at sign 6343, and tax tag and DMV fees. See dealer for details.
Tune in for the Yankees' first pitch presented by Montefiore Einstein, the official hospital of the New York Yankees.
Start your day with Boomer and Geo. Join the conversation weekday mornings from 6 to 10. Call 888-808-1019. The WFAN phone line is powered by Paramount Plus. Paramount Plus presents the biggest summer in UFC history.
It was a crazy night in sports on Monday night. You saw the debut of Miguel Brown in the Summer League for the Nets. You saw the Mets have a wild victory against the Atlanta Braves. You saw Team USA crap all over themselves and get eliminated from the World Cup. You saw the New York Yankees send a little message to the Tampa Bay Rays. And to cap it all off, and I had no idea until I had it spoiled for me before I sat down and watched it, CM Punk, Tiki's old friend, shockingly returns and wins the WWE Championship by beating Sami Zayn on a Monday Night Raw. What a night, Tiki!
Let's go, Punk. For those who don't know, I did a show for Netflix called Ultimate Beastmaster. For the first couple seasons I did it, it was Chris DiStefano, the comedian, who was my partner. But then he kind of worked his way out of it. He loves to tell that story of how. And then CM Punk was my partner for a season of Ultimate Beastmaster. He was cool.
So I'm curious, do you still have CM Punk's cell phone number in your phone?
No, you remember I wrote him? When were we talking about him again? I think it was around who was going to be the next tribal chief or who was going to win whatever. And
no, you know what it was? I think it was the rumors about him actually returning. I think that's what it was about.
Oh,
it was
right,
actually
right,
before
right.
he even came back to WWE.
Right. And he didn't answer me, so he's ghosted me.
He's either ghosted you or he's changed his number. You
It's
can give it
probably
one
that.
more try. You know what you can write to him if you want today? Hey, congrats on winning the big one last night. That was really
All
cool.
right.
Bang.
I will do that. Let's see if he responds.
If he's ghosting you, this is an unghostable response. Like, oh, thanks, Teak. Great. I mean, you're not asking him for anything. It's just simply, hey, last night was badass. You returned in Chicago. You took the attention away from Team USA losing in the World Cup. Congratulations, CM Punk. Before we get to your phone calls, though, we like to hold ourselves accountable here at Evan and Tiki without Sean Morash. Yesterday on the show, we all made predictions on what would happen in the World Cup. We had our special soccer insider, Alex, who was also running the board, and, of course, Tiki Barber, the two soccer experts. They made their predictions first. Let's see how accurate they were.
If I were to give a prediction, I'd go 2-1 USA.
2-1 USA.
I'm going 3-0 US.
Wow.
Oh, my God. We're going to blow them out.
Destruction.
That's a destruction.
I really, because I honestly believe it.
He believes it. So Tiki had a 3-0 blowout. Alex had a nice victory. And then the guy who knows nothing about soccer, Evan Roberts, made his prediction.
I have no facts to back this up.
Yeah.
I kind of have this weird feeling we're going to lose.
No, well, come on.
I don't know why.
No, because we're good this year.
You think history will repeat itself?
I think
you know
that
what
the
it is?
whole...
He thinks USA soccer stinks.
Maybe that's what it was.
And you were right in that moment. You nailed it, Evan.
I nailed it.
Good job.
Yeah.
Congratulations for not knowing anything and getting it right.
Sometimes that's the key to making sports predictions. I've learned that.
No, you're right. It absolutely is.
The less you know, the more you know. Put that on a T-shirt. Let's get to your calls. 888-808-1019 is the toll-free number. Clint in Somerset will lead it off on this fine Tuesday. What's up, Clint?
Hey, guys. How you doing today?
Good.
I just wanted to talk a little bit about some Summer League, if you guys had a second. I know Brooklyn Nets had a big night last night.
Damn right. I was glued to it.
Good.
Yeah. Here's the
You
problem.
know, Evan, I don't know if you saw this Lithuanian guy from Dallas' team. He's on a 10-day contract. Zitch.
Did you just say bitch? Is that the guy's name?
No, Zitch.
Oh, shit. No.
With a Z.
I have to be honest with you. My attention in the Summer League so far was just on 2 of the 3 Nets games. And by the way, you got to love that. First call, lead off, Ricky Henderson. What do you think of the Summer League? So I was mostly focused on Mikael Brown just to see how he looked. But honestly, the most impressive thing is that Igor Joman may be taking a big step in year 2. He's still only 20 years old. He's looked like the best player on the floor. Sometimes in the Summer League, that's what you're looking for because it should be men playing with boys. Because a lot of the guys playing in these Summer League games are guys that are going to be bagging groceries in a couple of months. So I was impressed by Mikael Brown. He had a couple of very impressive moves. He has quite a bag. He's got a great handle. It's obviously way too early to tell, but it was a nice little an appetizer to a meal that you're going to eat in a couple of months. And it's cool to see. That's the one part about Summer League I enjoy. It gives you a little sneak preview. But Igor Joman looks awesome. And if the Nets are going to take any step in 2027, it involves Igor taking a massive leap.
Yes, a minute and a half of net talk.
That's it. We're done now.
We're
done now. I took the call. I did my responsibility. Here's the best part today. I'm doing the show at home because I negotiate better contracts than Boomer Esiason, so maybe he should figure that one out. So my call screening software doesn't tell me the subject, so I'm going blind, baby. So
is that right?
So I swear to God, I had no idea the first call was going to be Summer League.
Except for Connor, who's back at the studio, whispered in your ear, take the net call. Take the net call.
I can't deny that. I can't deny that. I can't deny that. Let's go to AJ in Queens. What's going on, AJ?
Hey, guys. So I was just watching the game yesterday, and it was just like, what happened? Like, the team a few days ago was so good, and then they just completely collapsed. It just felt the whole team so much nerve. They just felt lost.
Yeah, I think you nailed it. I think it was part nerves. They were playing soft, as Evan detailed in his expert analysis that he got no help on. They just didn't have the energy to match what Belgium did. And you give Belgium credit because they were upset. They kind of felt like the USA, because of the whole Flo Balogun thing, was getting special treatment from FIFA, and who cares about what FIFA rules have been forever. The U.S. was skirting around it, and so they played with a different energy, and the U.S. couldn't match it. I mean, that happens in any sport. It really happens in anything in life. When someone comes at you and you don't match their energy, you're at a disadvantage.
But you know what I have a tough time understanding about that? Because I hear that in basketball a lot too. Like, the Spurs came out with more energy in Game 3 or Game 4. It is the World Cup. This is the thing you dream of. You only play once every 4 years, even if you're given multiple opportunities. Maybe it's the only time you get a chance to play in the World Cup. Yeah. How do you not come out with a great amount of energy?
I think it's just nerves, and it's being cautious as opposed to being aggressive. And you could see this. And obviously, the scoring with Belgium, put together the goals that they put together. That's one thing, but it wasn't even that. To me, it was the errant passes by the midfield. Weston McKennie, who is as good of a midfielder as the U.S. has, is just, heeling the ball into nobody and turning it over. Right. One of the things that made USA so good in the group stage was that they dominated the midfield. So even when they would turn the ball over, they'd get it right back. And so they were just off. It was like they were disconnected, which takes me back to what we talked about yesterday with the Flo Balogun thing. They practiced 3 days without him, not knowing if he was going to be available, and then all of a sudden he's available. It makes me think that Mario Pochettino, who was their coach, changed some tactics. And so now you get Flo Balogun back, and it's back to what you were doing, but it didn't even look close to the same, right? For some reason, and we like Alex Freeman because of what he did that was the Australia game, I think, where he had the header that he scored, and he obviously is the son of an NFL player. The fact that he was forward a lot and trying to play off the right wing, and he doesn't have great ball skills, it tells you they changed things and it didn't work. And it frustrates you because they look so good in those first 3 matches of the group stage, and they looked terrible last night.
I do have a dumb question. Are you ready for a dumb question? Okay.
Go ahead.
So I'm watching the game last night. I had all the TVs going. I mean, it was such an amazing sports night between, Mikael Brown and the Mets and the Yankees and the soccer. I'm glued to it. And my oldest son, Jed, is with me. He's kind of half paying attention, but not really. He's on his tablet doing something else. But when I think the U.S. had their free kick or their kick.
Yeah, Malik Tillman had the free kick right outside the box.
Okay, the free kick. So obviously now we're paying attention. Like, this is cool. He's got a free kick right outside the box.
And he made one.
And he made it
one last week.
Okay. Why is the Belgium guy on the ground? Like there's 5 people standing to create a wall, and then there's one guy on his hands and knees like he's looking for glasses he dropped in the grass.
So usually with a free kick, when it's outside of the box, you can't go through the defense, right? They're standing there covering their junk because they don't want to get hit in the wrong place.
Do they wear cups, by the way?
No, not at all.
No?
No chance. Because you're running too much. It's too much movement. It would chafe a ton. So anyways, you can't go basically body level or even head level. The only way to score from that position is to hit the top corners, right? So you're shooting for the top corners. And as a result, the defense, which is standing in front of you, they always will jump, right? They're always going to jump. And so what started to happen was that smart free kickers would just kick it underneath the jumpers. Like all 5 of those guys would jump, and then smart guys would just kick it underneath like a little worm burner. And like the goalie can't see it, the guys don't stop it. And so eventually they started just laying a guy down so that the free kick couldn't go underneath the jumping defenders. So that
makes sense now. See, I needed to watch this game with you because I had like a million questions as the game was going on. And then I'd be distracted by the Met game. Like I'd be watching, and then I'd be like, damn it, Freddie Peralta, can you get through 5 innings? By the way, he can't get through 5 innings.
He's not even 5 and fly. He's 4.5 and fly.
he's 4 and go. What rhymes with 4? Poor? 4 and poor.
Yes,
yeah.
Right.
I like that, 4 and poor.
Right.
Let's go to Emma, who's calling from...
That's P-O-O-R, not P-O-U-R.
That's right. Poor, as in like you're poor. Like you suck.
Poor for performances.
Yes. Emma's in Florham. What's going on, Emma?
Hey, Emma.
Hi. I am going back to talking about CM Punk. I think it was great that he won the title last night. I'm a huge fan of him. But I just have to say, I do feel really bad for Sami Zayn. He only had the title for 9 days, and I feel like world championships aren't something to just kind of pass around.
I agree with you. Now, here's my counter to this, Emma.
Break this down.
If the because I was annoyed too about Sami Zayn having the championship for like 5 minutes. The only way I'm okay with this is if there is a grander story about Sami getting his title at WrestleMania. Like, he had the belt for 5 seconds. He was taking it everywhere with him. He loses on a Monday night to a guy he wasn't supposed to fight. And the story arc for the next 9 months is him coming back and winning the championship. If that's the story, I love it. If Sami Zayn goes back into the mid-card and it's like he never won the championship, then I agree with Emma. Then it's a joke. So that's my standing on this right now.
Do you think that they wrote it this way? They booked it this way?
I don't know.
Because CM Punk has such a following, right? It's a weird following, but he does have a following. You know what I mean? And it makes it he's a unique kind of champion for WWE.
So to me, it's not even about Punk winning the title. It's about Sami getting the title and then losing it so quickly. Like, it didn't matter who he lost the belt to. It could have been back to Cody Rhodes last night. It could have been to anybody. But the way I look at this story, look at this. I'm breaking down wrestling like it's the 7th inning of a Yankee game.
Look, we got a call, and it's the middle of the summer, and nobody wants to talk Team USA because we got our asses kicked by Belgium.
And Emma sounds like a wonderful person, so I want to answer her question. I think if they're giving us a grand story around Sami Zayn's redemption, I'm here for it. But if he gets forgotten and put back in the mid-card, then this was bad booking. That's my view on this whole thing from last night. And I was so annoyed, Tiki, because I'm watching all the sports. I'm glued to it. The Mets are playing the last game of a series. We forget that it was a wraparound game against Atlanta, so they wrapped up the 4-game series, and I always do my Ricos after a series is over. So the soccer's done, the Yankees win, the Mets win. I do my Rico. As I'm wrapping up the Rico, I get a pop-up that CM Punk won the championship. And I'm like, son of a bitch, I wanted to sit down and watch this thing. And now I had it spoiled for me. Let's go to Carl, who's calling from Queens. What's going on, Carl?
Hey, Carl.
Carl going once. Carl going twice. Carl is sold. We'll go to Jake, who's up in Boston, Mass. What's up, Jake?
What's up, boys? All right, Tiki.
My friend.
The thing about the World Cup, it puts every
flaw on the world stage, and last night it not only exposed our backline, which was our fear since day one, and yeah, we got a problem because American kids all want to score, and no one wants to be a center back.
Right.
But, Tiki, you and I, we're MLS fans. It exposed MLS in a moment so bad that there needs to be crisis calls going on today with the billionaire investors, the ones that own NFL teams, and not Drew Carey and Matthew McConaughey. You and I, listen, we got to admit, the MLS is this rinky-dink, third-tier, oversaturated money grab product that refuses relegation, cannot stop expanding, and because of how watered down the league is, it kills our national team. And
but there are some good players. There are some good players. Like the Red Bulls, Julian Hall is a good player for the Red Bulls.
Correct. But, Tiki, it's just like in Brazil right now, where they haven't won a World Cup since their poorer leagues simply became a feeder for the big money clubs from Europe. And when we were awarded this World Cup in 2018, there were 23 MLS teams. Now there are 30. So the owners basically said, we're going to split up a few $1 billion rather than invest in talent and make the quality of our league better. And Don Garber's probably been in planning meetings for this thing for the last decade. When he put MLS on an Apple TV paywall, you've got a pay-to-play system to develop talent. Now you've got a pay-to-play system for your fans. And then this whole thing with the president and FIFA, you guys didn't mention it yesterday, Fox's World Cup rights expire after this tournament. The president, I know Flo Balogun was the talk of the moment. You've got to tie in the new TV rights with bringing this event back here in 2038. And hopefully by that time, Don Garber figures out a way not to self-sabotage his league because it killed the U.S. national team.
I love it, Jake. Jake is too close to this. He's too dialed in. He knows all the little things that are going on. Important little things that are going on, but I don't think a lot of people understand what he's talking about. But what he is saying is that Fox has the rights for U.S. soccer, but they're expiring. And it's probably, I know it's not a coincidence that the Team USA had Flo Balogun come and play in this knockout round game because of Trump's relationship with whoever.
I think we figure that. We figure that.
Of course.
Here's what, and he didn't really hit on this, but I was thinking about it last night in relation to the MLS. So I'm watching this game, and I'm pondering what most of us novices ponder, which is, will I ever get into soccer? What would get me into soccer? And because I'm a traditional sports fan where this is my local team, I root for the team in my area, I hope they trade for great players, I hope we win a championship, it would have to be the same way, which is why I told you yesterday if I ever got into soccer, I'd be an NYC FC fan. They're the local team. They play in a stadium eventually soon right next to my favorite baseball team. It's easy to go to. But the problem with the MLS is kind of what he laid out. The best players don't play in the MLS. No. And there's no sport.
And they don't want to until the end, right? The best players will come to the United States at the end. Lionel Messi, when they don't want to pay him $20 million in Italy or Germany or wherever the heck he was playing overseas. Or I just saw that Kevin De Bruyne, I think, or no, not Kevin De Bruyne. Who was it? There's a Polish player. I'm forgetting his name now, but he's coming to play for the Chicago Fire, right? So the great players will come to the MLS at the end of their careers. The young players want to play in Europe because that's where the elite competition is, and that's where the prestige is.
That's like my biggest issue in baseball. And I know that there are some Japanese players that will eventually come over, but let's be honest, if you're a great player from the Dominican, you're playing Major League Baseball. If you're a great player from Cuba, you will eventually come and play Major League Baseball. If you're a great player from Puerto Rico, you're playing Major League Baseball. There are no competing leagues. Again, I want to respect the Japanese Baseball League. But even there, eventually, whether it's Shohei Ohtani or others, they will come here and play Major League Baseball. NBA, same thing. If you're a great player from any other country, you come here. Same with football. And they're developing football schools and young players from outside the United States. You play here.
There's academies in Australia. They have them for the kickers and the rugby players, the International Pathway Program that the NFL puts together that has these young leagues overseas, and then ultimately, if you're good enough, you do come here. You get an exemption on your roster if you come and play here.
And that's the problem. Like in the MLS or really any league you pick, because a lot of the soccer fans like yourself always tell me, well, it's European. You got to watch the Euro. I'm never going to watch European because I'll never identify with a team that plays in Europe. I just won't.
And here's the challenge. This is the challenge. And if Fox was really dialed into this, they would go all in on U.S. soccer, meaning MLS soccer, and show that and make stars out of their players. By the way, the player I was thinking was Robert Lewandowski, who is going to play for the Chicago Fire. You don't know who he is. He's 37 years old, but he was a formerly great player. But it's at the end of his career, he's coming to get a payday in the United States, and it's mostly on the Apple side. But if the reason you won't fall in love with soccer, U.S. soccer, MLS soccer, is because the great players, the star players, end up playing in Europe. They don't play here.
No, absolutely.
Not until the end. And then Messi comes, and Inter Miami is the top team in MLS every single year.
That's the biggest problem. I think if there was one major soccer league, and I hate to be arrogant, but it was based in the United States and all the best players came here, I think they'd have more of a chance to get my heart and mind. I'm only one person. It doesn't mean, look, you're into the European stuff, Gallo's into the European stuff. I respect the hell out of it. There is never a world in which I'm waking up in the morning to watch Manchester United. Is that a team?
It is a team. That's my
I got that right?
team. You did.
Okay, good. I picked your brother's team. Sorry about that.
That's right. That's the Buccaneers-owned team.
Let's guess the Yankee turning point. To me, this is very easy. Griffin Jax is throwing a perfect game. He then blows the perfect game by walking Jason Dominguez, walks Jazz Chisholm, and in the top of the fifth inning, in a 0-0 game, Yankees still looking for their first hit. Jose Caballero came to the plate. I would assume you agree this is the clear-cut turning point?
100%. The Yankees had 3 hits in this game. All 3 of them were home runs, 1 by Ben Rice, 2 by Caballero, but that first one broke it open.
Let's take a listen.
2-2 to Caballero, the pitch. Swing on, deep drive, left field. Going back, and it is out of here. 3-run homer, Jose Caballero. And the Yankees have a 3-0 lead here in the 5th inning.
How about that? Jose Caballero, the first of 2, a clear-cut Yankee turning point as the Yankees defeat the Tampa Bay Rays. We'll get into more details on why Aaron Boone continues to hesitate in naming Jose Caballero the everyday shortstop. But first, let's send it to the WFAN's very own Connor Green with a WFAN Fan Focus.
And this Fan Focus brought to you by Chef IQ. Watch the game, not the grill, chefiq.com. So you guys mentioned this a little bit earlier. The Belgium national soccer team Twitter account posted overturned this as a little dig at Folarin Balogun having his red card overturned. They also did the Donald Trump dance after their 4th goal, so the Belgians got a little cheeky yesterday, fellas.
Nice.
Can't blame them.
They earned the right to do whatever the hell they want.
To the victor goes the spoils. By the way, that voice you just heard is Connor Green. Connor's been at WFAN for a very long time. In fact, if I had to guess, Connor, you've been here for, I'm going to go with
about 10 years.
I was going to guess 9. All right, 10 years. The fact that one of our everyday employees doesn't know who you are and refer to you by the wrong name is embarrassing. So I want to apologize to you, Connor, that one of our everyday employees, one of the stars of the radio station, called you Connor Hughes, thought you were an intern, didn't know who you are. Let me tell you something about Connor Green, and I don't mean to put anybody down because it's not about putting anybody down. Connor is one of the most valuable people that work here at WFAN. He's one of the most skilled people that works at WFAN, and he never says no, and he does everything. And Tiki will tell you, again, not a shot at anybody, when Tiki texted me before the show and said, who's on the other side? And I said it was Connor, Tiki was pumped. And you want to know why? Because he's damn good at his job. So acknowledge him.
I will say, being compared to Connor Hughes is not too bad. He's a talented guy. I don't mind.
That's fair. I mean, we love Connor.
We love you, Connor. It's fantastic. By the way, CM Punk wrote me back.
Are you serious?
Ghosted. I am not ghosted.
Well, hold on a second. So
he
you
said
wrote...
yes. He said thank you. Yes, Tiki. USA got whipped.
Wait a second. You wrote him about wrestling and he responded with a comment about the soccer?
Yeah, because here's what you told me to write. Congrats on last night winning WWE Championship. You took our attention off U.S. getting our butts kicked in the World Cup. He said, thanks, Tiki. Yeah, we got whooped.
You know what's so great about this? It shows that your name is also still in his phone. Because
That's
you
right.
didn't write, hey, punk, it's Tiki. You just wrote him as if you're longtime friends.
There you go.
All right.
That was like 8 years ago at this point.
The bridge is being rebuilt between
There it
Tiki
is.
Barber and CM Punk. Beautiful.
I love it. I love it.
We'll get back to your calls coming up, 888-808-1019. And what is to Aaron Boone's obsession with not committing to Jose Caballero? But your favorite Knicks champions are heading to Fanatics Fest NYC July 16th through the 19th. Don't miss the Kings of New York panel on Saturday, July 18th. A special championship celebration featuring Jalen Brunson, Karl-Anthony Towns, Josh Hart, Mikal Bridges. Here's stories from their title run. Get behind-the-scenes insight and experience what it meant to bring a championship back to New York. Plus, limited photo ops and autographed tickets for select Knicks stars and NYC sports legends are still available. Tickets are selling fast. Get yours now at fanaticsfest.com.
With the warm months here, it's time for a healthier you. My good buddy John Gallucci Jr., CEO of JAG Physical Therapy, always tells me how important it is to focus on your biomechanical chain to reduce injuries. Well, now it's the time for you and your loved ones to turn to JAG to get stronger and function at a higher level. The dedicated team of physical therapists at Physical Therapy will develop a plan specifically for you to help prevent injuries. And if you have an existing one, their expertise and commitment will help you get back the life you love. Schedule your appointment today at jagpt.com. That's jagpt.com.
This is an Odyssey Sports Minute.
Speeding catches up with you, paid for by NHTSA. While a lot of us were watching people blow things up on the 4th of July, Brandon Ayuk was busy blowing up maybe the last bridge he has left, going on Instagram to essentially call Jaden Daniels a mama's boy. There's no way anyone, not even the Commanders at this point, could possibly have any interest left in a player who on the field hasn't caught a TD pass in 30 months and who off the field has gone completely off the rails. I'm Chris Mack.
This summer, cool down with Dunkin' Refreshers. Sip on black cherry or try the all-new pink pineapple. Or try one of their flavorful fan favorites like mango pineapple or strawberry dragon fruit. All of them are ice cold and refreshing. Dunkin' Refreshers are the perfect afternoon pick-me-up, a whole lot of flavor and very refreshing. It's a sip of summer, only at Dunkin'. Dunkin' Refreshers are fruit-flavored, contain 0 to 1% fruit juice. Terms and exclusions may apply. On the biggest stage in the world, FanDuel is changing the game because sometimes your player gets subbed off and your bet goes with them. Not anymore with FanDuel's Super Sub. If your player is subbed out, your bet stays in. That's right. If your player leaves the match, your bet continues with the substitute. So you're still in it until the final whistle. Visit FanDuel.com/New York to get started now. Let there be goals this summer on FanDuel. Just visit FanDuel.com/New York, and with FanDuel Super Sub, if your player is subbed out, your bet stays in. That's right. If your player leaves the match, your bet continues on with the substitute. So you're still in it until the final whistle. We just love the app around here. It's safe and secure. It has all the betting markets you could possibly want. And when you win, you get paid instantly. FanDuel Sportsbook is the official sportsbook of WFAN. 21 and over and physically present in New York. For help with a gambling problem, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369.
Party at your place this summer? Fix things up inside and out with July 4th deals, now at Lowe's. Get up to 45% off select major appliances and save up to an additional 25% off when you bundle select major appliances. Plus, save $80 on a select Charbroil Performance Series gas grill, now $299. Our best lineup is here at Lowe's. Valid through 7/8 while supplies last. Selection varies by location. See Lowe's.com for more details.
Is reviewing life insurance on your to-do list? Now's the perfect time to add it. A friend recently told me that securing life insurance sooner rather than later can help you lock in lower rates for years to come. So, I bumped this up on my list and got it done. I called SelectQuote and couldn't believe how easy and affordable life insurance is. I'm 40 and got a $500,000 policy for $16 a month. My husband's also 40 and his $500,000 policy was only $18 a month. Plus, with SelectQuote's same-day coverage, there was no medical exam required, and we were covered by the time we hung up. Knowing I have this checked off my list feels amazing, but the peace of mind knowing my family is protected feels even better.
Call SelectQuote at 1-800-329-1010. That's 1-800-329-1010. Or go to SelectQuote.com to get your free quote today. That's 1-800-329-1010. Details on example rate at SelectQuote.com.
Optimal fibers in the house. Y'all know the number. 877-393-4448. Optimum fiber, so fresh, so fine. Got another provider leaving behind. Come on, everybody, let's get online. 30 a month, gonna blow your mind. 5 whole years, don't hesitate. Lock it in now before it's too late. 877-393-4448. Terms apply. See Optimum.com for details.
As World Soccer hits the big stage, Fanatics Sportsbook is making every game day worth more. Earn up to 10% fan cash on your soccer bets, win or lose. That's real extra value you can unlock every match, all tournament long. And fan cash isn't just for betting. You can use it anywhere in the world of Fanatics. On game tickets, merchandise, collectibles, profit boosts, and more. One ecosystem, endless ways to spend. Plus, new customers get up to $1,000 in fan cash. That's $100 bet matched every day for your first 10 days. The world is ready. Are you? Fanatics Sportsbook. Winning hits different here. Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or 1-800-MY-RESET. CT, call 888-789-7777. MA, call 800-327-5050. NY, call 877-8-HOPE-NY. MD, visit mdgamblinghelp.org. Not available in all states. Terms apply. See Fanatics Sportsbook app.
Orgavattazona? Is that a word? In the 2026 Kia Sportage Turbo Hybrid, it might as well be, because it can be one road trip. It's all about turbocharged power and hybrid efficiency working together, so you get the thrill of quick acceleration and the satisfaction of fuel efficiency. Book a test drive and keep the adventure going. Kia, movement that inspires.
Call 800-3334-KIA for details. Always drive safely.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer at a beverage manufacturing plant, he starts his day knowing every line is ready to run because Grainger delivers the industrial-grade products he needs to keep mixers, conveyors, and packaging equipment moving. With Grainger's vast selection of bearings, belts, and motors, he keeps operations running smoothly, so nothing grinds to a halt. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
I'm Bob Burke, founder and chairman of Burke America Parts Group, a family of brands that includes RepairClinic.com, an appliance and HVAC parts solution company that's grown into an international brand. Before AmericanEagle.com, we partially launched a new technology platform developed by another firm. American Eagle helped take our technology to a whole new level with digital marketing, software development, and business insights into our key markets, appliances, HVAC, and outdoor power equipment, and did so both on time and on budget. AmericanEagle.com has the resources, experience, and talent needed to produce solutions. Our new technology platform, developed by AmericanEagle.com, has produced tremendous results with higher traffic, conversion, engagement, and online revenue. If you have any home repairs you need to take care of, check us out at RepairClinic.com. If you need a world-class website or technology project, then I would highly recommend AmericanEagle.com.
Call AmericanEagle.com at 773-NETWORK. That's AmericanEagle.com, 773-NETWORK.
Download to see if you qualify. Not all customers will qualify. Transfer fees may apply. No Albert subscription required. Albert is not a bank. Albert Instant Loans are issued by FinWise Bank, member FDIC. Not an actual client. Terms apply.
Kylie, what's wrong? I just got hit with a car repair bill. I'm behind on rent, and I feel like I can never save any money.
Have you tried the Albert app? Albert is your financial assistant, helping you find ways to save and create custom budgets to actually grow your money. Plus, you can get up to $10,000 for big expenses, or advance up to $1,000 fast when you need cash right away.
Albert can get me up to $10,000?
Exactly. Albert spots you in a pinch and helps you grow your money in the long run.
I'm downloading Albert right now.
Download the Albert app and use promo code PLAN to borrow up to $10,000 for whatever you need. The Albert app helps you budget better and save more money, so you reach your financial goals faster. Download the Albert app right now and use promo code PLAN to borrow up to $10,000. Use code PLAN to borrow up to $10,000.
The Rico Bronya podcast is proudly sponsored by Takara Fuji Apple Chew High, the sparkling cocktail that blends shochu spirits with delicious flavors of fruits from Japan. Whether it's Citi Field or your favorite spot, raise the apple.
Get the latest on the Giants and Jets on WFAN, WFAN FM, WFAN FM HD1 New York, and Odyssey Sports Station.
Plenty of your telephone calls throughout the day, 888-808-1019, a brand new edition of Posted and Toasted in the next half hour. But we mentioned towards the top of the show that Cam Schlittler's dominance last night was also featuring a quote after the game in which he said, "They want to say there's effing regression because I have one bad outing." So again, it was personal to go out there and have a dominant start and put this team in the right position. And I said to you, Tiki, I don't know who the hell was saying Cam Schlittler was regressing. Well,
Did we find some?
We may have the answer. So Big Mac told me, look the way of Jared Carrabis. Now, if you're not familiar with Jared Carrabis, he actually used to be a regular on my Saturday show. I love the guy. He's basically a cooler version of me, except with the Red Sox. He does a Red Sox podcast. It's I think mostly a baseball podcast, but he talks a lot of Red Sox. He used to be with Barstool. He's great. I love Jared Carrabis. I don't have a bad word for him. He's a great troll of the New York Yankees. I think one of the great trolls of all time. And so apparently Jared Carrabis said in a tongue-in-cheek way, his words, not mine, that Cam Schlittler was regressing. So when Cam made that comment last night, Carrabis took ownership by retweeting it by simply saying, rent free. So he believes it's his comment. Big Mac believes it's his comment. We haven't gotten confirmation from Schlittler himself that he was talking about Carrabis. But it is odd because, again, if I'm trying to be fair on who Jared Carrabis is, he is a better-looking, cooler version of me. And he talked about his rival. So it would be like me saying Christopher Sanchez of the Phillies got bombed yesterday. It'd be like me going on the Rico saying, boy, Christopher Sanchez is regressing. And then in his next start, he pitches well, and he says, well, somebody said I was regressing, and he was talking about a schmucky person like me. So that's the assumption now on who Cam Schlittler was talking about. Your thoughts?
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, look, if it's only one person that drives you to pitch and have an 8-inning, 8-strikeout, damn near elite game. No, it was elite game. Forget it. It was almost perfect type of game. Then so be it. Pick somebody else next week or whenever your next start is and find a way to make that chip as large as possible and go dominate. Because I'm telling you, the best players find ways to do that, right? You see it over and over and over again in all sports. If you can play aggressive, I don't want to say mad because I don't want to assume that everybody's mad all the time, but if you can play with that kind of aggression because somebody is slighting you, at least maybe even just perceived slight, by all means, God bless you.
And knowing Jared Carrabis, or at least following his work, I bet you he was being sarcastic because that's his attempt of trolling. He knows Cam Schlittler is awesome. We all do. And so after one bad start, he gives you the tongue-in-cheek, I think he's regressing with half a smile. But what I learned from this is that maybe this is a job for Yankee fans. Maybe you guys need to start tweeting things at Schlittler about how overrated he is, how much he sucks, things that get under his skin to continue to keep him motivated. Your thoughts?
I mean, I think you love him too much to do that. Like, you would almost be like, I'm only doing this because I love you, when your mom like spanked you because I don't know, you did something wrong. So I don't know if the new generations of fans can have that kind of manipulative ability.
I think they can. You know what I think the problem is? Jared Carrabis is a Boston guy. He's a Red Sox guy. I don't think if Big Mac came on the air today and he did it, with a little wink in his eye, and he just started crapping all over Cam Schlittler, I don't think Schlittler would use that as motivation because I don't think he cares what New York is saying about him. I think he cares about what Boston is saying about him.
No, you're right. So, that's probably what he pays more attention to.
Yeah.
Because he knows what he's getting when we talk about him or anyone in the tri-state area talks about him. Even if you're a Met fan, how can you hate on Cam Schlittler? You can't.
No, you respect him. I respect him.
At 100%, you respect him, and so you know what you're getting when you're listening to New York radio. But when you go listen to Boston radio and they just want to troll you because you're a Bostonian playing in New York and thriving down here, then you know what? Let that be your chip. I love that.
So we mentioned that coming out of the Yankee game, and the other thing was Aaron Boone not committing to Jose Caballero as his everyday shortstop. Here's what I don't understand, and maybe you can help me out with this. Anthony Volpe is in his 4th year in the major leagues. Mm-hmm. He has now had 2,000 plate appearances, which is, let's be honest, that's an awfully big number.
Right.
He's had a lot of opportunity. This is no longer someone you're figuring out. 2,000 plate appearances. And if you look at his offensive stats, they're actually wildly consistent. It's crazy. OPS, I think, is the best indicator of a player. In his rookie year, it was 666. In his second year, it was 657. Last year, it was 663. And even now, it's 668. Like, it is unbelievably consistent. Now, his power numbers are down, but his walks are up. His strikeouts are down. His average is up. So we got to the same place in a different way. But Anthony Volpe, through 2,000 plate appearances, is a wildly consistent offensive player in terms of what overall numbers he's going to put up. I think his defense has regressed. I don't think there's any doubt about that. He was a Gold Glove caliber player in his rookie season. He is not that anymore. I think no matter what his age is, we know who Anthony Volpe is. Why do you think the Yankees still have a commitment to him over a guy who's clearly outplayed him and is clearly the better option to be the everyday shortstop?
I don't know. And it feels like there's suspending meritocracy for him for whatever reason. Partially, I would guess because of the story, because of the fable that we were told pre-Volpe's ascension to the major leagues, and this belief that he was going to be the next whatever. And it felt like it was there were steps happening towards it. You know, he wins a Gold Glove, so even if he's not an explosive 800 OPS guy, at least he's going to be this unbelievable Gold Glove shortstop year over year over year. And maybe as he gets older, more mature, puts on some strength, that he'll run into 20 home runs a year. But ultimately, he got hurt, and I think him wanting to fulfill that made him play through his injury, and we saw what happened last year. He became a shell of who he was. He lost all confidence at the plate. And worse, he lost confidence as a fielder to the point where Sean was screaming every time he'd go down on a knee to field a routine ground ball. Right? It was like a crutch he was using because he didn't have the confidence that he came into the league with. And I think the Yankees just want to believe in him. I think he had the potential to be a face of this team. Not the face, because that's obviously Aaron Judge. But I think he had the potential to be somebody who would be a champion around this Yankee organization. And it's becoming clear that he's just not that. He's an average player. Period. End of story. You go look at his WRC plus. He's just average. I mean, it is what it is.
Keep this in mind. 500 career games now, 2,000 career plate appearances, and we're still trying to figure it out. Greg Bird, who's famous as a Yankee prospect that didn't pan out, 186 games, 700 plate appearances. That is basically less than half of the amount of opportunities that Anthony Volpe got. So it's funny how it works where certain young players are given so much rope and others are not given nearly as much rope. And I'm not suggesting Greg Bird deserved more time. I think it was clear he wasn't the guy. It's just funny to me. Like, it's 4 years. Well, it's 2,000 plate appearances.
True, but you also saw him in the postseason in 2024 when they went to the World Series. Like, he was fantastic, right? He wasn't. Well, if we're judging
postseasons, Greg Bird hit 3 home runs in a playoff in 2017. Like, what does that mean?
I mean nothing unless it's the I don't know, the self-fulfilling expectation. Like, it was almost like an I told you so moment. I told you all we had to do was wait, and Anthony Volpe would give us those moments that we all dreamed of. See, I told you, ignoring everything else, every other bit of evidence that you have.
Do you think that this is related to Volpe, even though it's going to sound like it's not? Just hear me out. Do you think Brett Beatty's an everyday major leaguer? Just to remind you, he's hitting .217 with a .601 OPS, and he's playing every freaking day now at second base. Is he an everyday player?
Hard, Evan, you know it's hard? The Mets have become such a shell of what we thought they should be. I mean, that wasn't even high. And he's getting jerked around. And I almost feel like...
You're making excuses for this guy?
I am.
He's played every day this season.
He has. And where? You see him in right
different
field
places.
looking like a fool.
That's
on
first
base after never having done it before, right? He's second baseman, obviously. That's where he is, second and third. But I don't know. I feel like he might be a victim of what's plaguing the Mets.
What I view Brett Beatty as, what I view him as, is he can be a major leaguer as a utility guy coming off the bench. That could be his role. He has played 700 less plate appearances than Anthony Volpe, and I feel pretty good about drawing my conclusions on Brett Beatty.
Right.
Anthony Volpe has had 2,000 plate appearances, and we're still playing this game.
Okay,
It just
okay.
doesn't,
So Evan,
it doesn't make
so
sense
what,
to me.
what should you do then? If
I'd
you
make
are
him a
an-
super utility
if you-
player. That's what I would
okay,
do.
no, that's not what I'm talking about.
I said it for a
If
year
you are-
now.
If you are an executive, a front office executive, and you
Yeah.
have players like Anthony Volpe or Brett Beatty or even Mark Vientos, who you it's been a couple of years and you don't know yet. And maybe they would have been better served riding around in the minor leagues, for 2 or 3 more years before they finally got pushed into a pressure situation in the majors and failed at it. And who knows what they would have become. So do you move off of them? Like,
No,
what do you do with guys like that?
I have an answer. It's a great question. I would treat them a little bit differently. I think when you're a prospect, you need to get opportunities. I think at this point with Anthony Volpe and Brett Beatty, I think they're actually similar in this regard. I would treat them as utility players. I would treat them as a guy who can play numerous positions, which Brett Beatty has learned to his credit. And I don't even think he's bad at half these positions.
Yeah.
Outfield
But isn't it
shaky.
hard to do that? Isn't it hard to do that?
Too bad.
To like
Baseball's
only play,
hard, Tiki.
only play a little bit. Like, you were expected to be a star. You were expected
That's
to
what
do
you are now,
whatever
though.
it is, and then you just kind of like, I don't know, you're just average.
Then go to the minor leagues. Like, your role as a major leaguer now, the way I view these guys is that you can be a major leaguer. It's not like I'm telling you Volpe or Beatty are not major leaguers. I don't think they're everyday players. And I think the way they can – Ahmad Rosario is like my favorite example of this, bro. He was a super prospect. He got traded for Francisco Lindor. And at some point in his career – he became an outfielder. He became a third baseman, and he's a decent major leaguer. Like Ahmed Rosario, no one scoffs at that. Now, he needed to leave where the hype was, which was New York and Cleveland. But as he bounces around the league, it's like, okay, good major leaguer. Beatty and Volpe are that. They are guys that need to be viewed differently. And this conversation is about Anthony Volpe. He needs to be the super utility guy. And I've been saying that for a year about this guy. And the Yankees continue to treat him as, well, he's the shortstop. That's the position. He should play every position in the infield. And if he can't, then you're not going to be useful as a major leaguer. I'm sorry.
Yeah, because there's going to be, inevitably, as we found this year, someone who you're going to acquire, maybe even accidentally, who's going to be better than him. And Jose Caballero is better than Anthony Volpe. It's not even a question. And the fact that he gets jerked around in this platoon, whatever the heck they're doing at shortstop, is frustrating because you know that Jose Caballero will step to the plate and give you a competitive at-bat almost every time. Volpe, you can't guarantee that.
And I love the fact that he pisses other teams off. I think you need players like that.
100%.
He's the Josh Hart of the New York Yankees. Yeah,
100%. If you don't have that player, then people don't take you seriously. Right?
Absolutely.
They look at you as soft, even if it's not fair.
Let's get back to your calls. 888-808-1019 is the number. Brendan is in Mamaroneck. Hey, Brendan.
Hey, fellas. Hope you're good. Hey, first of all, I got a better nickname for Peralta's 4 innings. You had 4 and 4. How about 4 and out the door?
Wow. Accurate on many accounts, yes.
Nice. I like that.
Yeah. But on Caballero, look, the reality is he's everything we wanted Volpe to be. He is a pesky bat when he's on. He lengthens the lineup behind the big dogs with the power.
Right.
And he plays a mean shortstop, and he's a pest on the base paths. So, it's the funny part to me is they like to hang on to the guys they believe in, Volpe, Duvall, give him every chance. But they acquired Cabby. Like, puff your chest out, make him your guy, cut your losses, and that's your shortstop. Let's go.
Absolutely. Yeah. I agree with you. And I think as we get closer and closer to bleep cutting time, like the postseason, if I had to guess right now, Jose Caballero will play every game at shortstop for the New York Yankees come 2026 postseason. And the third baseman is not on this roster. That's my other prediction. The third baseman isn't on this roster. The
catcher?
Shortstop is. They're definitely going to add a catcher. Because even though the catching market is not great, the play behind the plate for the Yankees is so atrociously bad that anything would be an upgrade. Like the smallest of additions would be such an upgrade at catcher. Let's go to Al in New Jersey. What's up, Al?
Hey guys, how we doing?
All good, man.
Let me question, Evan. A quick question on the Mets. But let me. I want to ask a personal question of Tiki after, so if you now cut me off.
Yeah, go ahead.
Evan, Bo Bichette. Would we know the Phillies coveted him during the offseason. Would you be okay with us trading him to Philadelphia? And B, would David Stearns be okay that, being the fact that it's like an admission, because they were in the same place as us and they're heading to the playoffs and we're not? That would be some sort of an admission of guilt.
I think
those are
you
my
have
questions.
to. I'll answer real quick, and then you can ask Tiki the question. I think that if you are deciding to trade players away in a sell mode move, which the Mets are leaning towards doing, clearly, you got to take the best available offer. So if the Philadelphia Phillies are making the most appealing offer to me for any of my players who are free agents at the end of the year, I would not hesitate. I personally would have no problem trading with the Phillies if it meant I'm getting the best return.
Right.
All right. Okay, Tiki, the Cam Slittler comments got me thinking. Evan, I think we would agree that Tiki's probably the most logical person we know in our life. How would a guy that doesn't have an illogical bone in his body make it to such heights in sport?
That's a great question. How do you answer that one, Tiki? How does someone so illogical make it to that height?
All right. You're talking, I mean, I think sometimes you got to be a little bit crazy. And you belie your exterior. The facade is just that. And I don't know. I don't know. It's a good question.
I think that you're the exception more so than the rule. I think most athletes, if I had to guess, are illogical. That they aren't clear thinking, well, that's a fair criticism, or, I'm not going to pay attention to what somebody tweets about me.
Right.
I think in this day and age, most athletes are probably illogical when it comes to the criticisms that they face.
No, you're right, because now they hear it so much more than you used to. Like when I was playing, and again, this was 20 years ago, so just take it with a grain of salt. You could ignore it. You really could, and you might not ever hear what whoever, Mike Francesa or some writer would write about you. Why? Because you didn't listen to the radio and you never picked up a newspaper. Nowadays, it's with you everywhere you go. Like you will accidentally fall into the criticisms that people are throwing your way nowadays, even if you're not trying to look for it.
What is very complicated about Bo Bichette, and I want people to listen very carefully when I say this, and I've warned you about this for 2 years. I've brought this up to Tiki, that free agency in Major League Baseball, and this has nothing to do with the lockout, but free agency for offensive players is very barren for the next couple of years. There is no Juan Soto. There are very few really good impact offensive players that are entering free agency in the next couple of years. So with that said, if you trade Bo Bichette away, or you let him go because he opts out of his contract, how the hell do you plan on replacing him?
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, and say this about Bo Bichette, let's be honest, he got off to an atrocious start. No one questions that. He's played very good defense at third base. I think underratedly good defense. For all the bad defense the Mets have played, it is not Bo Bichette at third.
Yeah, don't forget, he played a month and a half at shortstop, too.
And he also had to fill in at shortstop.
Exactly.
Not bad. And his offensive numbers are probably going to end up pretty good. Like, he's probably going to end up hitting 270 with 19 home runs and 95 RBIs and a 745, 750 OPS. Those are going to be his final numbers. If you let him go, how are you replacing that if the Mets plan on competing in 2027? So I think you've got to think long and hard about A, not trading him, and then B, how far you'd be willing to go to keep him around. Because I don't know how you're competing in 2027 if you're just subtracting that bat, because you're not replacing it in free agency. Maybe there's a trade I don't see coming, Teak. That can always be a possibility. But when it comes to free agency, it doesn't seem like there's an easy solution.
No, you go look at the free agents that's coming up for this upcoming season. It's Eugenio Suarez. It's who else? There's not a ton of options. There's nobody to play third base.
That's what I've been telling you. That's what I'm saying.
You're kind of stuck.
You almost have to find a way to keep Bo Bichette. And as much as we're pissed about April and May, if he ends up having a good year and plays good defense at third base, even though most of his numbers are coming at the lost part of the season, doesn't it still make you feel good? Okay, he could play here, and he's only 28, 29 years old. Like, why wouldn't you want that player back?
You would. The only thing, and again, this isn't your concern, really, but it is it's going to cost you a lot.
That's and how willing are the Mets going to a long-term deal, which is probably what he's going to ask for.
There's no doubt about it.
Jeff is calling from Teaneck. What's up, Jeff?
Hey, guys. How are you? Thank you for taking the call.
Pleasure, man.
Tiki, I want to tell you, close your ears for now. I'm going back to the Nets on this.
It's all good. I allow it once an hour.
Once an hour. That's our rule.
That first call got me hyped. I wanted to say I loved the game last night. I love that wraparound pass by McCall. Great play. And Igor looked great. I want to know, do you think this is a possibility? I know with the whole Kyle Lowry announcement, the retirement, he's going to Toronto, but with DeRozan getting waived by the Kings, do you think that could be a good mentor for the young guys? Also a good signing just for like a year or two? And what are your thoughts on that?
Not honestly, when I saw that DeMar DeRozan was going to be bought out by Sacramento, number one, I don't see why he would want to take that role. Like, why would he go to a team that doesn't have a chance to win at the latter part of his career? So I figure, A, he wouldn't have that much interest, and B, no, it doesn't really appeal to me. They have veterans on this roster. Julius Randle, and you have to hope, I know it's weird saying this, that Julius Randle can be kind of that veteran mentor for some of the younger players. Even Michael Porter Jr., I know he doesn't have the greatest reputation.
Yeah,
but what is that really based on? Just him going on podcasts saying weird things? It feels like his teammates love him. It feels like he wants to be here. So I think they already have that. What they need is more talent. And what they really need are these players to develop. If the Nets are going to have any chance to take steps forward, it has to do with Igor Joman at 20 years old taking a big step and Mikael Brown being the guy the Nets envisioned when they took him at 6. More of your calls coming up at 888-808-1019 and a brand new edition of Posted and Toasted, where Tiki guesses the old tweets of our fellow WFAN coworkers. Our friends at Town Fair Tire remind you that at Town Fair Tire, you always get the guaranteed lowest price on name brand tires from Connecticut to Maine. Nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody.
If you're looking to level up your wardrobe, check out Collars & Co. You've seen them on Shark Tank, where they landed a deal with Mark Cuban. They're the team behind the dress collar polo that sold over 1 million shirts. And now they've launched the Maverick Performance Blazer. And this thing is legit. Sharp, lightweight, and completely wrinkle-resistant, making it perfect for travel. Just pack it up and it comes out looking fresh. Plus, get smart features like security zip pockets, a sunglasses loop, and an optional pocket square. So hit up my friends over at collarsandco.com. Use code Tiki and get 20% off. That's at collarsandco.com.
Sports fans, the biggest weekend of the year is coming to New York. Fanatics Fest takes over the Javits Center July 16th through the 19th. Right now, we'll take the 6th caller at 866-540-WFAN for your chance to win a pair of tickets to Fanatics Fest for one day of your choice. See athletes, cards, memorabilia, and WFAN broadcasting live all weekend from our friends at Fanatics. Visit fanaticsfest.com for full details and to purchase tickets.
And this portion of the program is sponsored by Surfside Iced Tea and Lemonades Plus Vodka. It's not a seltzer, it's a Surfside.
First pitch swung on, deep drive.
The Yankees are in Tampa playing the Rays. 6:40 today.
Give it up, say goodbye.
Susan Waldman and Dave Sims call all the action. The home of Yankees baseball is The Fan. 101.9 FM, 660 AM, and always available en Espanol with Ricky Ricardo on the Odyssey app.
There's nothing more refreshing than an ice-cold Surfside iced tea and vodka or Surfside lemonade and vodka to break the heat. Surfside is only 100 calories and 0 bubbles. That's right, no carbonation. It's not a seltzer. It's Surfside. Must be 21. Please drink responsibly.
This is Mary at the Department of Rejected Dreams. If you had a dream rejected, IKEA can make it possible.
Hi, I've been dreaming of having an epic college setup.
But your college budget is less than epic.
Way less.
Well, with IKEA, you can get everything you need for college, from bedding to storage and decor, all at a great price.
That's good economics.
Sounds like someone just found their major.
Visit IKEA in-store or at IKEA.us to get ready for college. IKEA, dream the possibilities.
The savings are here! The savings are here!
Happy birthday, America!
It's America's 250th birthday.
We're celebrating all month long at Nielsen Dodge
by giving you freedom of choice. Save up to $250 off service. Save up to $250 off accessories.
With leases for $250 or under.
You'll start feeling the vibes the minute you arrive. Fun is in the driver's seat.
Lisa new 2026 Jeep Grand Cherokee Limited 4x4. Just $250 a month. Yes, just $250 a month.
There's always 0 down payment. The credit help you need. More savings with your trade-in.
And of course, great deals. For leases $250 or under, hurry to Route 10 in East Hanover. Online at NielsenDodge.com.
At Nielsen Dodge.
Fun is in the driver's seat.
Make this the summer event. With approval, term 24 months, due at sign, 6343, add tax tag and DMV fees. See dealer for details.
On the biggest stage in the world, FanDuel is changing the game because sometimes your player gets subbed off and your bet goes with them. Not anymore. With FanDuel's Super Sub, if your player is subbed out, your bet stays in. That's right. If your player leaves the match, your bet continues with the substitute. So you're still in it until the final whistle. Visit FanDuel.com/New York to get started today. Let there be goals this summer on FanDuel. Just visit FanDuel.com/New York, and with FanDuel's Super Sub, if your player is subbed out, your bet stays in. That's right. If your player leaves the match, your bet continues on with the substitute. So you're still in it until the final whistle. We all love the app around here. It is safe and secure, has all the betting markets you could possibly want, and when you win, you get paid instantly. FanDuel Sportsbook is the official sportsbook of WFAN. 21 and older, physically present in New York. For help with a gambling problem, please call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY. That's 467-369.
Honey, did you invite the minions over?
Well, you know how we talked about getting Wi-Fi from Xfinity?
Yeah.
I ordered it this morning, was online in minutes, then they showed up.
So they just came over to use the Wi-Fi? For what?
Better not to know.
Get online in minutes with same-day Wi-Fi from Xfinity. Plus, lock in your price for 5 years and see Minions and Monsters only in theaters. Xfinity. Imagine that. Restrictions apply. Not available in all areas. Learn more at xfinity.com/same-day Wi-Fi.
You know that Big Bargain detergent jug is 80% water, right? It doesn't clean as well.
80% water? I thought I was getting a better deal because it's so big.
If you want a better clean, Tide Pods are only 12% water. The rest is pure, concentrated cleaning ingredients.
Oh, let me make an announcement.
Attention shoppers, if you want a real deal, try Tide Pods.
Stop paying for watered-down detergents. Pay for clean. If it's gotta be clean, it's gotta be Tide Pods. Water content based on the leading bargain liquid detergent.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/team. That's ZipRecruiter.com/team.
ZipRecruiter. My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
For all station contest rules, go to WFAN.com/rules.
Summer's heating up and pest season is officially here. Mosquitoes, ticks, ants, and wildlife are becoming more active across the greater New York area as summer temperatures rise. Enjoy your summer, not the pests. JP McHale Pest Management helps protect your home, family, pets, employees, and customers all summer long. With local offices around the tri-state area, their local experts are ready with seasonal residential savings and free commercial inspections. Visit nopests.com. That's NOPESTS.com. JP McHale Pest Management, not just good, guaranteed.
When you own your own business, you own every decision. Catch the red eye or take the 6 a.m.
Make a new hire or promote internally.
Celebrate a win with a toast at the gate or unwind at the lounge.
Big props to this team.
Some decisions are a win-win, like earning 8 times points on Chase Travel. Chase Sapphire Reserve for Business, the business card that gives back all you put in. Visit chase.com/reserve business to learn more. Cards issued by JPMorgan Chase Bank and a member of FDIC, subject to credit approval. Terms apply.
If you're still using a sportsbook to bet on the soccer tournament, you're getting robbed. Delete that app and join the millions using Polymarket. Polymarket is a prediction market, not a sportsbook. Trade against other fans, not the house. Polymarket, your go-to prediction market for soccer's biggest stage. Available in all 50 states. Download the Polymarket app. Use promo code BLAZE to unlock $50 free for your first trade. That's promo code BLAZE. Trading not available in all jurisdictions. Check local regulations before trading. Restrictions and eligibility apply.
The summer is here and it is hot. If you think a new central air conditioning system is out of your budget, you got to think again. Sloman's is here to change the game with their super savings sale. They're offering cutting-edge 18-SEER 2026 refrigerant-compliant R454B systems, expertly installed by their certified technicians, all at the lowest prices of the year. That's right, you get started with 0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest for 18 months. Plus, they're including a comprehensive 5-year service plan, That includes annual system checks, filter replacement, and refrigerant to keep your AC running smoothly all summer long. Servicing all of Long Island and Queens, you can call the team at Sloman's today, 516-932-7000 for your free estimate. But you got to hurry, these cool savings aren't going to last. So don't miss out. Call 516-932-7000 or visit ac.slomans.com. That's ac.slomans.com. Terms and conditions do apply.
The conversation never stops on The Carton Show. Join Craig Carton and Chris McMonagle weekdays from 2 to 7. Call 888-808-1019. The WFAN phone line is powered by Paramount Plus. Paramount Plus presents the biggest summer in UFC history.
You know what? We have some breaking New York Knicks news. So why don't we put that in the fan focus, Connor?
And this fan focus is sponsored by Chef IQ. Precision cooking, effortless results, chefiq.com. Jalen Brunson will miss multiple months after getting surgery on his wrist and hand area after the playoffs here and going to the finals. So he'll miss a couple of months, but is expected to be back before the start of the season.
It's always jarring when you see this, so great reporting by not only our boy CP the Franchise and Ian Begley. They've worked together, I guess, on this. But Jalen Brunson is going to be recovering and rehabbing for 2 months following surgery to repair an injury in his right forearm wrist area. I think you see that, and your first reaction is major concern. But then when you think about the calendar, and you think about the fact that, okay, it's July, it's 2 months, it's a long-ass NBA season, it's like, okay, all right, that makes sense. It could be worse.
Not really worried about it.
Not yet, no. And honestly, even if Jalen Brunson was scheduled to miss a little bit of time, I still wouldn't be worried because it may behoove him to not play 82 games. The Knicks have played a lot of games over the last couple of years when you think about their deep postseason runs, that this would actually be smart to not have Jalen Brunson play all the time this season. So if he missed time, I would have spun it as that's actually probably a blessing in disguise.
No, it's interesting. Now you get some Jose Alvarado at point guard moments and let him do his thing for a little bit and get acclimated and comfortable being in that role that he filled so admirably in the postseason. Yeah, I mean, look, it's if this was something that was like brand new and unexpected, I think we'd be worried about it. Or even if it was like an ankle procedure. But a wrist procedure, I'm not overly, I wouldn't be overly concerned about because it's non-weight bearing, and it feels like even if it doesn't fully, correct it, he'll play through it anyways. It's just the kind of guy he is.
I keep thinking of Game 1 of the NBA Finals when he went down multiple times. One time he went to the locker room, and I think every Knicks fan saw the season flash before your eyes. And not only does he come back healthy, but he puts on fourth quarter Superman cape in each game. And the Knicks win the series in 5. That is one of the lasting images of their NBA Finals victory against the San Antonio Spurs. It is Tuesday. It's about 11:37, which means it's time for a brand new edition of Posted and Toasted.
It's time for
Posted and Toasted.
Posted and Toasted. In 1, 2, 3. Posted and Toasted. Where Evan finds the treats. Posted and Toasted. Will Tiki guess them right? It's Posted and Toasted time.
Yeah! Posted and Toasted brought to you by the Rothenberg Law Firm. Injured, visit injurylawyer.com, and Princeton Longevity Center. Experience the power of personalized medicine. So, Tiki, I heard last week Sean did a great job of finding old tweets. And one thing I've realized about Posted and Toasted is you're too good to get multiple choices. So we now live in a world in which I will read you the tweet like I always do. I'll give you the date. I'll give you what was said, and you know who works here. You know your menu of people.
I'm now familiar. I'm now familiar enough with everybody that you would potentially go and search out on Twitter or X or whatever that gets called now, and I can pull it out of the top of my dome.
I agree. So let's kick it off with July 5th, 2015. The Women's World Cup game will have a monster rating as people turn it on and quickly fall asleep before being able to change the channel. Is that person? Oh, yeah, no choices. Who is that person, Tiki Barber?
That is cold-blooded. I mean, fall asleep and turn it. Like, who would be that mean? And, like, I'm going to say that's Gio.
You say that is Gio. You're wrong.
Wrong? I'm trying to think who would insult
So basically,
women's
what
soccer.
What Tiki has announced to the world is, of all the people that work here, the first person he thinks of as a sexist pig is Gio. Very, very
You're
very
wrong. Pig. I'm trying to think of who could be the comedian that could get away with it without being viewed as a sexist, misogynistic. You know what I mean?
I gotcha. Well, it is not Giannotti. I'll give you one more guess.
Is it Sean?
There you go. It is Sean Morash, ladies and gentlemen. Correct.
Come on. Well, I guess,
bless America. You know that song?
I guess Sean, that was 11 years ago.
Yes.
So, yeah, he's young and dumb. He's 26 years old. That makes sense now.
And he's a sexist pig, so you mix it all together and it
I had
works.
to factor in the age at that point.
All right, let's go to June 7th, 2014. Say what you want about soccer, but I did 4 minutes on the World Cup, and that's all most of the callers want to talk about now. What person said that on June 7th, 2014?
June 7th, talk about now. Is that Craig?
Craig Carton?
Yeah.
You're wrong.
I mean, who would have done a solo? Big Mac?
You're wrong.
Come on.
I feel very disrespected. It was me, Tiki.
It was you?
Yes.
Why the hell would you talk soccer 12 years ago?
Because it was probably the World Cup, and I'm a talk show host. Even if it's something I don't care about or know about, I'm going to try to talk about it. Say my name, bitch.
The last thing I would think you would talk about, even if you had to, was soccer.
No, man. You don't know me that well. I'll talk about whatever I think is the number one story of the day.
Oh,
That's how I view this.
I'm sorry I offended you, Evan.
A little bit. Basically. All right, let's go to June 19th, 2014. I've been watching so much of the World Cup, I just booked a flight on Emirates. That tweet makes me laugh.
Again, so that's a comedian. That's someone who has to be like that's Gio.
There you go. Greg Giannotti is correct. Very good.
Yes.
You got one right.
Pictures of your booty.
Let's go to July 7th, 2019. This is a great question. If everybody loves soccer so much, why do they only watch the World Cup? If everybody loves soccer so much, why do they only watch the World Cup?
That's a thoughtful question. That's Al Dukes.
That is Al Dukes. You are correct. Look at you finishing strong.
Oh, hi there.
Yeah.
And finally, are you ready?
Yeah.
Our final tweet is from June 22nd, 2014. It's the flopping and the crybaby nature of grown men that makes soccer so hard to watch.
That's Sean.
You think that's Sean?
Yeah, that's Sean.
You're wrong.
Wrong?
Yeah, Tiki. Who is that? It's the flopping.
Is that Jerry Recco?
You're wrong.
You're wrong.
Yeah.
I'm going to
I want you to just figure this one out yourself. It's the flopping and the crybaby nature of grown men that makes soccer so hard to watch.
Was that me?
That was you. How about that?
Good luck. You did to me.
Mr. Soccer. On June 22nd, 2014, the flopping and the crybaby nature of grown men, that's what makes soccer so hard to watch. Can you explain yourself, Mr. Soccer?
I mean, these guys flop around and act like they just got, I don't know, decapitated or something. Or their leg was amputated with how bad they're screaming and yelling. And they're only just trying to get a foul. Now I appreciate it because that was before I was watching soccer religiously. Now I watch it regularly. And I get it.
I was going to ask you that because there are two guys when it comes to golf that I think about pre-loving golf. Like there was a time in which these two people who love golf now didn't love it. Giannotti and Joe Beningo. Now, I didn't know Joe in the time before his love of golf. I guess in the overnights, Jerry Recco finally got him to play golf with him, and it clicked in his head. And I don't remember Gio ever hating golf necessarily, but something flipped. He started to play it, and now he's in love with it. So I've seen the evolution of people from not liking a sport, in the case of Joe, to being fully obsessed with it. Did you ever hate soccer before you started loving it?
No. So, again, that tweet, which I don't even remember it, I can imagine it was because I like soccer, but I hate guys being wusses. It doesn't compute to me. because in the sport I played, and really any sport that I can think of when I was growing up, if you got hit or banged, it just made you mad. It made you more aggressive. It made you want to be more successful. And in soccer, which is a beautiful sport, these guys, all they want to do is lay on the ground and get fouls. And it's like, what's the point? Like, go be great. It's like Jalen Brunson. Like, people call Jalen Brunson this flopper, and he's not. What he does, he just likes to draw contact so he gets free throws. He's not flopping like, oh, I'm not going to make this shot. I'm just going to throw it up there. Like, what's his name does? SGA does.
SGA, yes.
Yeah, SGA does that. Jalen Brunson isn't that. And so he plays through contact, and sometimes he gets fouls, but he's not flopping. Flopping is jumping on the ground and acting like you got shot just because someone made small contact with you. And that frustrates me about soccer because soccer can be such a pretty game.
Posted and toasted every Tuesday right around this time. 888-808-1019, the number. Sal is calling from Brooklyn. Good afternoon, Sal. Hello, Sal.
Hey, guys.
Sal, what's up, dude?
Hey, can you hear me? All right.
Yep.
I'm just glad to hear you guys talking soccer on the fan. I actually never thought I'd see the day where that consistently happened, but so thanks,
I love
Tiki.
it. I love it. You're welcome.
So big thing here is they're the host, right? There's pressure that nobody's talking about. So There was a clip from the Italy team in '06 when they were playing in Germany saying that the pressure on Germany, they knew before the game that they weren't handling it. And this is a massive team. So I don't think anybody's looking at the pressure aspect that was going on with the U.S. team. There was a lot of noise around them, and they just couldn't handle it.
Sal, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. And by the way, it wasn't just the United States. The same thing happened to Canada. Canada didn't win the group, and so they had to play outside of Canada after being the host nation, because I think it was Sweden that they lost the group to. So they lost. L3, Mexico. Mexico does not lose in Mexico City. I think they've lost 2 games in the last 30 years or whatever it is down in Mexico City, and they lost to England in this previous round. And so there is a lot of pressure when you're the home team, and the expectation, because the crowd is on your favor, the media watching, the television viewers, it's humongous. And sometimes you handle it. Sometimes it drives you. Other times it makes you collapse. And it looked like USA collapsed yesterday.
Alyssa from Asbury Park. What's going on, Alyssa?
Hey, Alyssa.
Hey guys, how are you?
Good. What's on your mind?
Good. So I just wanted to call, first time, long time, and I just wanted to say I met you guys at Fanatics Fest last year. I was wearing a Mets dress. I'm sure you don't remember, but I'm very excited to hopefully see you again this
Very
year.
nice. Good meeting you last year.
I'm calling. Yeah. I am calling about the Mets because I read a quote the other day, and basically it said, the 2026 Mets are the only team that can win and make you feel like you lost. And
yeah,
that,
very true. Very true.
I mean, if that doesn't sum up this year, I don't know what does. And I'm one of those people
Alyssa,
who's
that was definitely last night. Certainly last night.
Right? And the night before, when the Braves almost beat us again. So it's like, I am not a fan. I'm on the David Stearns, let's fire him train, because Cohen will say, hey, this team is in serious trouble, and this is not acceptable, and it's not okay, and we need to do something. But then at the same time, he wants to keep the person that made the team what it is. So it makes no sense to me of like where his mindset is. And the last thing I'll say is, when I was at the Mets game when we traded Jet Williams and Brandon Stroke for Freddie Peralta, we didn't know what was going on. We were getting all these texts from friends and family saying, oh, we're so excited about the trade. We turn on the fan, and it's Positive Tommy, and he tells us what's going on. And I called in right away because I was like, this is a terrible idea. This was a terrible trade. Jet Williams and Brandon Stroke for some guy who's on his way out the door.
Well, okay, so a couple of things. Couple things. Were you at the Knicks game? Because that's where I was when the Freddie Peralta trade went down. I remember that. I think it was Knicks-Nets, actually. Maybe that's what she said. She was at the Nets game at Madison Square Garden. I think that's what it was. That trade only made sense if the Mets were good. Like, I take you back to the Mike Hampton trade of 2000.
Yes.
The Mets made a trade for a rental starting pitcher named Mike Hampton, and they gave up a lot. They gave up Roger Cedeno. They gave up Octavio Dotel, two guys who ended up having major league careers. We'll see about Jet Williams and Brandon Sproat. Even though Mike Hampton left at the end of the year, Mike Hampton was the NLCS MVP. Mike Hampton was a big reason why the Mets got to the World Series. This trade was only going to work if, A, the Mets were good, and obviously Freddie Peralta contributed. Freddie has had a bad season, and the Mets are terrible. So it's obviously been a disaster. My concern at the time wasn't that the Mets weren't capable of winning games. I thought they'd be better than this. It was, wow, they gave up a lot for a guy that I don't think they have any serious interest in bringing back. But there's no denying that trade has not worked out. But let me quickly explain, because Steve Cohen won't say it as bluntly as this, but here's my explanation for Cohen being concerned about the future of the Mets, being concerned and being pissed off about how bad this team is, but also saying I'm bringing David Stearns back.
Yeah.
David Stearns hasn't been here long enough, and Steve Cohen knows if he fires him, A, he doesn't have any idea who he'd hire to replace him, and B, he's concerned, rightfully so, that no one would want the job. That there would be a letter against the Mets, a scarlet letter against the Mets, because he would have gone through so many GMs and team presidents. So I think a part of why he wants to stick with David Sternstein is he knows the ramifications of firing him this quickly.
Yeah, and by the way, it's also a mess. The team's a mess. You look at Ewing and Benj, and maybe that makes sense. And Juan Soto, obviously, he's been fantastic. Hit another home run last night. And look, he's Juan Soto. He's a great hitter. But there's not a ton to build upon. Like, how are you remaking the rotation? Like, you come in immediately. It's like, how are you remaking the rotation, right? What's your bullpen going to look like? Where are you getting some depth and bats around this team? And what's your identity? And all those things are going to be pressure filled in New York because the New York Met fan wants success. And I mean, look, this is an old story, but it is what it is. Steve Cohen promised success. It hasn't happened. And so coming in and trying to fill that void that would be left if David Stearns got fired would not be an easy task. And I don't know if a lot of experienced and veteran executives would want that job.
And Cohen alluded to it when he said burn and churn or churn and burn. And that's one area where I know it's not popular, but I kind of agree with him. Like, it's not a defense of David Stearns to say, hey, I really don't want to get rid of the team president this quickly because I'm concerned about what would come next. I need to give him a little bit more time. That's not a defense of the Freddie Peralta trade. It's not a defense of the current state of the Mets because clearly I've had major issues with a lot of decisions he made, but I do think the burn and churn that Cohen mentions would be a big problem. Now, when we come back, we do need to address a guy I have great respect for and I trust. What Mike Francesa said about the Soto-Lindor relationship and the Mets looking to trade Lindor. I'll tell you what I think about that coming up, Tiki, as well, plus more of your calls at 888-808-1019.
Tiki Barber here. When it comes to the latest info on the world's game, you have to trust the global leader in science, technology, engineering, math, and more. That is New Jersey's Institute of Technology. NJIT's Martin Tuckman School of Management has developed a digital dashboard tracking fan sentiment and all things World Cup. Can you imagine what the hashtags were like last night for Team USA? Find out the most useful, up-to-the-minute local information for this global event at njit-worldcup.com. That's njit-worldcup.com.
This is an Odyssey Sports Minute.
Offense wins games, but defense wins championships in a U.S. men's national team that made its way to the round of 16 based on an aggressive, near breakneck style. Couldn't find it last night. And when coupled with a back line that didn't just wilt in the spotlight but completely self-destructed, it was yet another opportunity for U.S. soccer to show they belong with the big boys that ended with them looking like they couldn't even swim in the shallow end of the kiddie pool. I'm Chris Mack.
For adults with Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis symptoms, every choice matters. Tremfya offers self-injection or intravenous infusion from the start. Tremfya is administered as injections under the skin or infusions through a vein every 4 weeks, followed by injections under the skin every 4 or 8 weeks. If your doctor decides that you can self-inject Tremfya, proper training is required. Tremfya is a prescription medicine used to treat adults with moderately to severely active Crohn's disease and adults with moderately to severely active ulcerative colitis. Serious allergic reactions, increased risk of infections or lower ability to fight them, and liver problems may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection, flu-like symptoms, or need a vaccine. Explore what's possible. Ask your doctor about Tremfya today. Call 1-800-526-7736 to learn more or visit TremfyaRadio.com.
Bring the flavor to the World Soccer Championship with Crush Orange Soda. Crush is the perfect pick for every match, highlight, and game-winning goal. Make every match even sweeter with Crush Orange Soda.
Hi, this is New Jersey Attorney General Jen Davenport. Speeding puts everyone at risk. That's why officers and troopers are actively looking for drivers who drive too fast. Don't let speeding be the reason that you or someone else doesn't make it home. Slow down and drive safely, New Jersey.
Orgavadazona? Is that a word? In the 2026 Kia Sportage Turbo Hybrid, it might as well be, because it can be one road trip. It's all about turbocharged power and hybrid efficiency working together, so you get the thrill of quick acceleration and the satisfaction of fuel efficiency. Book a test drive and keep the adventure going. Kia, movement that inspires.
Call 800-3334-KIA for details. Always drive safely.
I built this business the old-fashioned way. Hard work and a whole lot of spreadsheets.
Yeah, about that, I upgraded us to Odoo. Odoo puts everything we need, sales, inventory, accounting, on one connected platform. No more juggling systems, no more headaches.
So it all works together?
Exactly.
Odoo is the all-in-one business software that makes running and passing on a business easier than ever. Take your business into the next generation. Try Odoo free at odoo.com. That's ODOO.com.
Overcast, high 71.
Weather brought to you by Capital One. Capital One offers no fees or minimums on checking accounts. What's in your wallet? Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com/bank guide. Capital One NA, member FDIC.
We've all been there. You pop into the shop for 5 minutes and all of a sudden you've forgotten where you parked.
Car.
Unfortunately, that lost feeling is what it's like trying to manage your policy with other insurers.
Here, car. Come out, wherever you are. Please.
With Geico, you can use the app to easily manage all your policies in one place.
Did this parking lot have a waterfall?
I think you've wandered too far, mate.
It feels good to find what you're looking for. It feels good to Geico.
The World's Game at BetMGM is here. Bet on the soccer showdowns with 2-up early payout so that if you're up 2, BetMGM will pay you. That's right. Place a pre-game straight match result bet on any tournament game. If at any point your team is up by 2 goals, you'll instantly win your bet. Then enjoy BetMGM's same-game parlays, daily promotions, player props, and so much more for the World's Game. Don't miss your shot at an early win with 2-up early payout to get paid out if at any point your team is up by 2 goals, regardless of the final outcome of the match. Make it a tournament to remember with BetMGM. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. Gambling problem? Call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 plus years of age to wager and physically present in New York only. New and existing customer offer. Subject to eligibility requirements. Additional terms and restrictions may apply.
Diving for that grounder got you grounded? Oof. We've got specialists for that. Layup, take you down? We've got specialists for that. With nearly 50 Castle Connolly top doctors, Orland & Cohen specialists are considered among the best in the nation by their peers, which can mean a better outcome for you. From Staten Island to Southampton, our network is open 7 days a week, so you can feel better, faster. Visit OrlandCohen.com.
This is the story of the one who keeps multiple buildings running smoothly day after day. Plumbing that flows, HVAC that hums, cleaning supplies that keep surfaces sparkling. That's why she counts on Grainger. With easy reordering online and 24/7 support, Grainger helps her keep the products she needs on hand. So shelves stay stocked and buildings stay ready. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Hey, Yankees fans! Join us at Yankee Stadium on Friday, August 21st, as the Yankees take on the Toronto Blue Jays. And don't miss Cody Bellinger Bobblehead Night, presented by T-Mobile. The first 18,000 guests through the gates will take home an exclusive Cody Bellinger bobblehead. Get here early, grab the giveaway, and cheer on the Bronx Bombers. Tickets are available now at Yankees.com/tickets.
Someone had a birthday.
Yep, 50. Can't believe it.
50 years of wisdom.
Great segue. We have a health reminder from the CDC.
Pneumococcal vaccination is recommended for adults 50 or older. Says here, we're over 6 times more likely to be hospitalized with pneumococcal pneumonia than adults under 50.
I don't love those odds.
Same. Look what I found. Pfizer's Prevnar 20 is proven to help protect adults against pneumococcal pneumonia and invasive pneumococcal disease in just 1 dose. And millions have already gotten it.
Continued approval may depend on a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you have a severe allergy to its ingredients. A weakened immune system may lower your response. Common side effects include injection site pain and swelling, fatigue, headache, muscle, and joint pain. For full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138. Visit Prevnar20.com or talk to your doctor or pharmacist.
I'm on Prevnar20.com now, scheduling my appointment.
Good idea. And happy 50th.
Tune in for the Yankees' first pitch presented by Montefiore Einstein, the official hospital of the New York Yankees.
Here's a World Soccer Championship preview.
Brought to you by Lowe's. Members get more at Lowe's. And by the first ever Infiniti QX65. France has emerged as the top favorite among the 8 teams left in the tournament, but they have a tricky quarterfinal tie to get through with Morocco. France has now gone 260 minutes without conceding a goal. Morocco hopes to ride the momentum of a dominant second half against Canada. I'm Mike Conti.
Talk sports with Craig Carton and Chris McMonagle on The Carton Show. Afternoons from 2 to 7 on WFAN, WFAN FM, WFAN FM HD1 New York, and Odyssey Sports Station.
We approach noon on this fine Tuesday in the middle of July. Evan and Tiki without Sean Morash until 2 this afternoon. If you've missed any of the show, you can rewind it on the free Odyssey app. A lot of talk about the USA letting a country down last night by losing to Belgium in the World Cup. The New York Yankees with a very impressive muscle-showing victory against the Tampa Bay Rays, led by their ace Cam Schlittler. And the talk around the Mets is not about their win last night, even though Juan Soto had a pretty cool moment. It's about what the heck they're going to do in the next few weeks. And Mike Francesa, who I have great respect for, of course, big part of building this station for many, many years, said the other day on his podcast that what he has heard, and I'll say this about what he's heard, Mike don't make stuff up. So you could say that what he heard may not turn out to be true, because like I always say with sources, sometimes there's a motivation for why you let something out. But let's just put it away. Mike is not making stuff up. All right, that's never been the case with him, nor would it be now. But there were 2 interesting things Mike said. One is fascinating to me, and that is because I asked you the other day when Steve Cohen confirmed that Lindor and Soto have had this icy relationship. It's better now, but they did not have the best of relationships. I wondered aloud, what's it about? Like, what caused it? It just only adds more intrigue to me as a Met fan to find out what it's about. Mike actually supplied the reason. And I think this is, like, so understandable yet dumb at the same time.
Right.
Are you ready for this?
It makes total sense, but it's like, come on, we're professionals here.
Yes. According to Mike, when Juan Soto signed with the Mets last year, every player texted him or called him and welcomed him to the team, except for Francisco Lindor. And so I don't know if that was Lindor being petty because he was jealous, maybe of the contract he received, or if it was Lindor was busy and just didn't think it was a big deal. I have no idea. But apparently that was the beginning of the frayed relationship, according to Mike, between Lindor and Soto. Your thoughts as a former professional athlete?
I mean, first of all, that's just silly because I'm trying to think if any time we got a new free agent, like Plaxico Burress, when he signed with the New York Giants, or Kerry Collins, I don't think I reached out to them. And I don't think you had the mechanism back then, so maybe that's probably why. But telephone numbers weren't readily accessible. Hey, what's Kerry Collins' cell phone number? But if that's why you're worried about it, that's almost looking too highly about yourself. Like, I'm so important that everybody should congratulate me. So to me, that's a Soto thing. That's not a Lindor thing.
Yeah, I took it as it's a both thing. First of all, you're way too sensitive, like you said, if you're Juan Soto. And B, if you're Lindor, throw the man a text message. You know what I mean? Like, just give him a welcome to New York. Though I will defend Lindor in this regard. What we heard around Soto leaving the Yankees is that nobody had his number. So maybe Lindor was suffering from the same issue Aaron Judge had, which is he couldn't get Juan Soto's number.
Well, he also said that wasn't true, that he didn't change his number. So it's like, what are we to believe, if anything?
What I believe is that they probably don't have a great relationship. Obviously, Steve Cohen confirming that last week leads you to say that it's probably not even that much better this year, despite him saying so. But I continue to be a believer that it just doesn't matter. Like, they don't have to be best friends. They don't have to be BFFs. And I don't understand. Maybe I do understand. But I think this is a cool moment for Keith Hernandez on the broadcast to talk about his relationships, because I had always heard, and I don't even know if it's true, so it's a great chance for Keith to say, hey, this is true, or it wasn't. There were rumors. But there were always rumors that Keith Hernandez and Gary Carter did not get along, okay, and that they kind of rivaled each other as the captain. Now, Gary isn't with us, and maybe that's why Keith wouldn't want to address this. Like, Gary Carter isn't around to talk about it himself, so it would be kind of like a one-sided conversation. But I have been waiting for Keith Hernandez to say, hey, look, I love Gary. It ended in a good place. But we had our issues, because I think for a lot of Met fans, hearing that would be a reminder that Soto and Lindor don't have to have a great relationship.
And by the way, I think that's the case regardless. And it's really any walk of life or business. Some relationships are great, others are not. But you still have a working relationship that doesn't prevent you from doing great things together. And so if this is what's, again, this isn't the issue with the Mets, because there's obviously tons that we could get into, but if this is the underlying issue with the Mets, then they just need to figure this out and get over themselves, basically, and do what's right for this team and have a working relationship, not a personally, we don't got to hang out and go drink beers together relationship.
And I don't think, as Mike also says, that the Mets are actively trying to trade Francisco Lindor.
Yeah.
I don't believe that should or does have anything to do with their relationship. If the Mets are listening on Francisco Lindor, it's the reasons I gave yesterday, which is when you suck and you're not good, you should be open to everything. Now, I believe that you won't find a deal that's good enough to make. Like, I believe that any deal, if you are actively talking about trading Francisco Lindor, I don't think it's going to leave the Mets in a better place. Like, I can't see a realistic trade that I, as a Met fan, would say, you know what, screw it. I love Lindor. Thank you for your time, but I want to make that move. I don't see that realistically being out there, and you do have to throw in the fact that Lindor has a full no-trade clause, so he has some power in this. I'm not against the idea of the Mets being open to trading anybody. They're on pace to lose 100 games. Like, you should be thinking about everything. But I find it hard to believe that they will come up with something that David Stearns and Steve Cohen and everybody else are going to say, yeah, I feel good about that. That puts the Mets in a better place moving forward, hence why I don't think he'll be traded.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, you don't want to get rid of good players. And as much as we haven't felt that this year because Francisco Lindor felt like he's been hurt for so long, he's a good player, and he's going to be a really good player for the next couple of years. The last thing you want to do is make your team worse by getting rid of a guy who's still on the back end but still in his prime. And so it doesn't make sense to trade him right now. And by the way, as we talked about yesterday, I agree with you. I don't think he wants to get traded. I think he likes being in New York. It's just he's trying to figure out the dynamics of what the Mets are going through right now.
Now, I remember what I said last year about Brandon Nimmo. I said something very similar, which is I don't expect Brandon Nimmo to be traded because, A, he has to waive a no-trade clause, and B, I don't see a trade out there that I would be happy with. Well, I was half right because I wasn't happy about trading him for Marcus Semien, but the Mets were. So they disagreed with me and said, all right, we'll make this deal. It's 2 fewer years. And that's really why they made the trade. They made the trade squarely about money and years. See, I think Lindor is too good to make a trade like that. I can't take back a worse contract that's shorter. That may sound like a contradiction, but a worse player on a shorter-term deal because I'm thinking about the contract. I can't do that with Lindor because I think Lindor is too good to do that with. So that's another reason why at least I, speaking for myself, would not be interested in any potential Lindor trade out there. Because how does it make him better? How does it make you feel good about the team moving forward?
It's not going to make you better. So, because now you got to replace him unless you're committed or trying to commit fully to Bo Bichette, and he's going to be your shortstop of the future. Like, what are you doing to make yourself better if you get rid of Lindor? And that's hard. It's easier said than done, I think.
888-808-1019. That is our number. Let's go to Gene in Smithtown. What's up, Gene?
Hey, guys. How are you?
Good.
Good. Good. Just a quick soccer thing. I'm 61 years old. Really never paid too much attention, but I'm into it. So I think I'm gonna follow along, even though much to my wife's chagrin, she's like, "You don't need more sports to root for." But
That's true.
I'm into it.
That's true.
Yeah, but I'm into them. So real quick on the Lindor thing. Longtime fan. I really do. I like Lindor. I like as a guy, as a player, he's been a good Met. Obviously, slow starts, but if the Mets get proposed a deal with two high level prospects, the other team may take a little money. I do think the Mets will have to eat a lot of the money. Is that something both of you would be okay with? Do you think there's any chance of that happening?
Yeah, I mean that's part of the problem is the money you're going to have to eat, because it's a big contract for a guy who's aging a little bit, and we know Steve Cohen has done this in the past in a sense, but I don't. Again, how are you replacing him? And the leadership side of it, which has been neutered, we talked about multiple times already. How are you replacing that as well? Because that's what Steve Cohen is ultimately got to start figuring out, is who are my leaders on this team. And listening to Mike Francesa yesterday, the one thing I completely agree with him about is that Lindor felt like this was his team, right? This is my team. I am the guy who stands up. I answer questions after every game. I am accountable. I'm one of the best players in baseball. This is my team. And then Soto comes, and it just completely changes the dynamic simply because of how much money he's making.
I also wonder, and you brought this point up a week or two ago, that Steve Cohen so actively coming out in spring training and definitively saying we'll never have a captain, it felt like it cut Lindor's you-know-what's off. And
it was a slap in the face. It was a direct slap in the face.
I didn't view it that way at the time. I have to admit, it was another one of those, like, all right, fine, they'll never have a captain, whatever. It's just a kind of a stupid C one puts on their jersey. Like, what does it mean?
Who cares? Right.
But I think your point is pretty fair now that you think about it all these months later, that what did that do to Lindor standing in that locker room? Mm-hmm. And I'm not sure. Now, to answer his question, no, I'm really not drawn in by a prospect trade. I got to tell you, this team is trying to win next year. This team is trying to win. They have Juan Soto in the prime of his career. Nolan McLean is hopefully blossoming into a star. But guess what? He's a pitcher. I don't know how long that's going to last. The Mets are trying to win. And so trading Lindor for prospects, no, it doesn't appeal to me. It's not something that I'd really want to sign off on. I mentioned yesterday a hypothetical, and I'm not even saying every Met fan would be on board with it, and that is the idea of San Diego and the Mets agreeing to some kind of Lindor-Tatis swap, where you're getting 5 years younger, but you are getting a player that hasn't been the same since his PED suspension. There's no question about it. Tatis has not been the same player. But you're taking on extra years on a contract. So that's the negative for the Mets. You're getting younger, you're taking on more money, you're taking on more years. Maybe that's why San Diego would do it. That's the kind of deal I'm at least thinking about.
Right.
But trading them off for prospects at this point, no. No, that's not appealing to me.
Yeah, because now you're waiting for the prospects to become something viable to help you win.
And prospects, they're lottery tickets. We're talking about Anthony Volpe and Brett Beatty. That doesn't always happen. Right, what was Brett Beatty and Anthony Volpe before we all gave up on them? They were prospects. Frank is calling from Syosset. What's up, Frank?
How are you guys?
All's good, man.
Tiki, got to ask you a question. Well, let me say, I don't understand why I was deemed somebody that speaks out of both sides of his mouth when it comes to the Yankees. I said they were a good team, and you know what I'm referring to last week. You asked me, do I have any confidence that they will go deep into the postseason? I said yes, but I don't think they're going to win it. They're capable of winning a championship. That's all. I see some assets on the team. You mention them every day. There's Schlittler, there's Rice. Yeah, they've developed. They've become all-stars. But, if I go down I don't want to go down my list again. You don't have enough time for me to go down my list of issues that I have. I've stated them to you. I've stated them to Evan. An aging team, a lot of injuries, 29 unearned runs so far. They've been swept 4 times this season, 20 errors in the last 20-something games. And, I originally wanted Rice behind the plate. I would rather see Rosario at third. I would rather play Schumann in right field than Dominguez. Evan mentions how much time we've given Volpe. How much time have they given Dominguez? And
Far less.
Omar Minaya, if I could just let me say, Omar Minaya was given an interview before the season started. Not once did he ever use the word, "this team is great." He said they're a good team. And that's what I said to you last week, Tiki. They're a good team. They'll give you a good season, but they're not a championship team to me. When I look at the Giants, I'm looking at Pierce and Tuck and Strahan and Plaxico Barris. And, I'm not looking at that, last year's team. And that's how I view the Yankees. I'm not looking at Jeter.
I think part of it is with this Yankee team is that the expectation is always what it is. We know this, but it's also relative to the American League. And the American League, there is nobody acquitting themselves to the umpth degree. There's nobody that's standing out as the obvious best team in the American League right now. And so the Yankees should be that team. And the problem for us is that they're not all the time, and that's what frustrates you.
The Tampa Bay Rays, the team that leads the American League East, the only team in the league with a better record than the New York Yankees, batted Cedric Mullins cleanup last night. So I get all of Frank's concerns. The Yankees are not a perfect team. It's why I mocked Sean relentlessly when he compared them to the 98 Yankees. It was an insult in April. It's even crazier to think about in July. Nobody's saying they're perfect, and nobody's even suggesting they're great. But are they not the best of the bunch? When you look at the Chicago White Sox, who are somehow in first place in the AL Central, and the now red-hot Seattle Mariners, flaws and all, Julio Rodriguez on the IL, Cal Raleigh having the worst year ever. When you look around the American League, despite all the issues that the Yankees have, and they have plenty, I would still argue they have fewer issues than everybody else.
Yeah.
That's got to make you feel good. And, by the way, he said, how about the opportunities Jason Dominguez has gotten? He's played 179 games in his career. He's had 646 plate appearances. That is significantly less than some of the other young players that we've deemed failures, like Brett Beatty and Anthony Volpe. So it's not even close to being the same. It just isn't. And I'll say this about Dominguez. I know his overall numbers are not good this year. The fact he's showing signs by hitting left-handed pitching, something he could not do last year, that's at least a level of growth. And he's 23. Right. I still need more of Jason Dominguez before I make declarations like I have on Anthony Volpe and Brett Beatty.
Yeah, he hasn't gotten nearly the run that Anthony Volpe got before, we started to lose faith in him. I honestly don't know what Jason Dominguez is yet. I don't. I know what we want him to be, but I can't tell you definitively who he's going to be when we look at him 5 years from now.
Well, you'll find out when he's on a different team because it
Most
feels
likely.
inevitable that he's
Most
just
likely.
not going to be here. Let's go to Kushal in Bridgewater. What's going on, Kushal?
Hey, Evan and Tiki, how are you guys doing?
We're good, man. What's up?
Good. I'm a huge Yankee fan. I'm losing my trust in Aaron Boone in managing this team. When he cannot make simple decisions like committing to Caballero at shortstop and optioning or doing something else with Anthony Volpe. Caballero has the better bat, better defense. He's better at ABS challenges, provides more energy, and it just seems like he's just creating a spark in the team. Without him, they would have lost last night.
Right.
So I'm so done with Anthony Volpe now, and the fact that Aaron Boone can't commit to Caballero, it's just doing a disservice to the Yankees, in my opinion. What do you guys think about that?
Right. No, I wish there was an answer. I wish that Aaron Boone was asked directly that question, and I'm not sure that he would give you a competent answer. I think he would hem and haw because he hasn't thought about it. I think they have a way of doing things, and they stick to it regardless. And it frustrates the hell out of us, obviously, but I don't think he'd give you a straight answer. I don't think he has one.
Yeah, I think the best answer is a belief in Anthony Volpe that we all don't see. That's the answer.
No, that's true. But
there's a belief in Volpe as a player that none of us are agreeing with or seeing with our own eyes.
So are we all stupid?
Yes.
Like I'm being honest. Like why do we not have that same feeling? You know what I mean? Why is it only the Yankees brass that feels that way about Anthony Volpe when clearly he's not what they think he is?
It's a great question because are we all stupid? I mean, sometimes we feel that way. But ultimately, and I remember Sean making this point last year about Cashman and the Yankees, it feels like most of the things we scream about as fans end up happening. Like most of the things we're angry about, eventually we get our way, and it's almost like the Yankees just take their sweet-ass time. And one of the things that Yankee fans and just baseball observers like myself have been screaming about for a while is that Anthony Volpe is not their best option at shortstop. And by the way, he's not their only issue. Like, sometimes it gets framed that way because it's the biggest talking point on sports talk radio. And I think the reason why he's talked about more than the issues behind the plate is that there is no answer behind the plate. Until Cashman goes out and trades for somebody.
Right. Not on the roster.
Right. So you're talking about the, potential of trading for Ryan Jeffers or the potential of making a deal with the Mets for Luis Torrens. Like, there isn't an answer that's already here. Ali Sanchez is what he is. J.C. Escobar, when he was here, is what he is. Like, the Yankees do not have an answer behind the plate, but what we all know is eventually, come August 4th, that's the day after the trade deadline, the answer ain't going to be Austin Wells. And I am stunned by the demise of Austin Wells.
Yeah.
That one doesn't make sense to me because he had a good rookie year. Even last year, he was a playable major leaguer. What the hell happened to him?
Well, I was listening because I didn't pay attention to him in the World Baseball Classic, but apparently in the WBC he was good too.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden he gets to the Yankees and he's a shell. So maybe he's hurt in some capacity that we don't know. But again, that's just the default. Like, I don't have an answer, so I'm just going to assume that he's hurt. Response. It's an excuse. It doesn't make any sense because we don't know that he's hurt.
It's weird to go and regress the way he has. And look, Anthony Volpe's regressed too. I mean, his rookie season, especially defensively, he was a different player. Offensively, it's all been the same with Volpe. We went through that earlier. Like, his OPSs are basically identical year after year after year. But defensively, he's gotten worse. And it's tough to explain why. Andrew is calling from Brooklyn. Good afternoon, Andrew.
Tiki, what's good, y'all?
What's up, man?
Cool, man. So, Tiki, man, yesterday for me, I've been following soccer my whole life. I'll say soccer instead of football. But my whole life, and Jamaican parents, big Man U fans. When I saw Belgium's team sheet yesterday, I said, you know what, United States, I hope you see this. This is them saying, we're already thinking about Spain. Right? Onana got hurt like 2 seconds in.
Yeah, that's right.
And this was their chance. Now, granted, I still had Belgium, even though they feel that they're probably D team out there. Right. No Lukaku, no De Bruyne, no Doku for Man City. The United States blew a big chance, man. All they had to do was just play mistakeless soccer.
Soccer, right? Well, you can call it football, Andrew, because that's actually what it is. But Andrew, didn't you see? You saw early in this match. And I said this earlier. Like they couldn't complete passes. You know what I mean? They were leaving the ball
against these teams.
No, they're leaving the ball unchecked in the middle of the pitch in the midfield. Right? You're giving the opportunity to the other team. Whereas in the first 3 or 4 games, they were so dominant in the midfield. It was like they forgot how to play football.
And that's the thing about it. I know Tillemans is a good player, but Onana got hurt. And United, they just had a prime chance. Now, granted, I still had Belgium, but they had a chance to pull off an upset. But real quick about Volpe, I hear what you know with this Volpe situation. I look at it like this. He's the kid that grew up in the house, smiling in all the pictures, but one day the police comes knocking on the door, and they're like, yeah, it's your kid that did this. You need to come pick him up. That's what this is.
Wow. You went there, Andrew.
Wow. You like that analogy? That's a good one.
Hilarious. That's a good one.
That's not bad there. We've got a Cinco de Luncho coming up in just a few minutes, plus more of your calls at 888-808-1019. That's our number. And I'm a big fan of almost things that happened in sports that would have rattled our brains. It came out this morning, a shocking NFL what could have been involving an NFL legend. We'll explain what coming up. It's Evan and Tiki without Sean Morash until Big Mac at 2 this afternoon.
And this portion of the program is sponsored by Crystal Geyser Alpine Spring Water.
Training camp is right around the corner. And nobody gets you ready for football season like WFAN.
It's a good variety of coverage.
From roster moves to quarterback questions to the biggest stories in the NFL, our experts have you covered. Get ready for Kickoff 2026 on WFAN.
What makes Crystal Geyser Alpine Spring Water different? We always bottle our Alpine Spring Water less than 1.5 miles from the spring source, and all our bottles are made with 50% recycled plastic from our own recycling plants. Crystal Geyser, bottled at the spring source.
Optimal Fibers in the house. Y'all know the number. 877-393-4444. Optimum Fiber, so fresh, so fine. Got another provider leaving behind. Come on, everybody, let's get online. $30 a month, gonna blow your mind. 5 whole years, don't hesitate. Lock it in now before it's too late. 877-393-4444. Terms apply. See Optimum.com for details.
Town Fair Tire has the area's largest selection of Bridgestone tires. So we buy Bridgestone tires for less and sell them for less. The guaranteed lowest price you'll find anywhere. Plus, we give you more free services for life than any other tire dealer. So when you're looking for Bridgestone tires, there's only one place to go. Town Fair Tire. Because nobody beats a Town Fair Tire deal. And I mean nobody.
Name brands at discount prices. Town Fair Tire.
On the biggest stage in the world, FanDuel is changing the game because sometimes your player gets subbed off and your bet goes with them. Not anymore with FanDuel's Super Sub. If your player is subbed out, your bet stays in. That's right. If your player leaves the match, your bet continues with the substitute. So you're still in it until the final whistle. Visit FanDuel.com/New York to get started now. Let there be goals this summer on FanDuel. Just visit FanDuel.com/New York, and with FanDuel Super Sub, if your player is subbed out, your bet stays in. That's right. If your player leaves the match, your bet continues on with the substitute. So you're still in it until the final whistle. We just love the app around here. It's safe and secure. It has all the betting markets you could possibly want. And when you win, you get paid instantly. FanDuel Sportsbook is the official sportsbook of WFAN. 21 and over and physically present in New York. For help with a gambling problem, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369.
When you own your own business, you need to keep things moving. Need to book a last-minute flight? Earn a $300 travel credit to cover that. Need to take a meeting before takeoff? Do it from the comfort of the Chase Sapphire Lounge by the club. Need to catch your breath before you board? Done. Chase Sapphire Reserve for Business, the business card that gives back all you put in. Visit chase.com/reserve business to learn more. Cards issued by JPMorgan Chase Bank and a member FDIC, subject to credit approval. Terms apply.
Right now, you can grab a full breakfast at Dunkin' for $6. That's 2 wake-up wrap sandwiches and a medium hot or iced coffee, all for $6. It's quick, easy, and it covers your whole morning all in one stop. Did I mention it's filling and delicious? It's a full breakfast, it's a great value, and it just makes mornings easier. So next time you're at Dunkin', don't overthink it. Order the Dunkin' $6 meal deal. No substitutions, participations and times may vary. Offer prices varies in California and Hawaii. Limited time offer cannot be combined with other offers. Exclusions and terms apply.
Orgavatazona? Is that a word? In the 2026 Kia Sportage Turbo Hybrid, it might as well be, because it can be one road trip. It's all about turbocharged power and hybrid efficiency working together, so you get the thrill of quick acceleration and the satisfaction of fuel efficiency. Book a test drive and keep the adventure going. Kia, movement that inspires.
Call 800-333-4KIA for details. Always drive safely.
It's grilling season, and if you're still guessing when your food is actually done, it's time for an upgrade, my friends. I've been using the Chef IQ Sense wireless meat thermometer for 2 years now. It connects right to my phone and tells me exactly when my food is done. So you're not standing around guessing anymore. No under or overcooking, no checking every 2 minutes. It just makes grilling so much easier and food so much better. Just go to chefiq.com, use code word BOOMER for 40% off site-wide on all products. That's chefiq.com, code word BOOMER for 40% off.
I'm Piera Palazzolo, VP of Digital Marketing for the American Management Association, a company focused on the management training skills needed to enhance the careers of business professionals. We did our research when it came to the best companies for website development and chose AmericanEagle.com. And we couldn't be happier. AmericanEagle.com worked closely with us to understand the front and back end requirements needed to launch an e-commerce website that could handle the complexities of running thousands of seminars nationwide, our robust new website and improved SEO saw immediate increases in site traffic and web revenue. If you're in need of managerial effectiveness and success, visit our website at amanet.org. If you're in need of a website that provides an unparalleled consumer experience, I highly recommend AmericanEagle.com.
Transform your business today. Dial 877-WEB-NOW-1 for a free digital consultation with AmericanEagle.com.
Come visit the engagement experts at London Jewelers at any one of their 6 locations.
The savings are here! The savings are here!
Happy birthday, America!
It's America's 250th birthday.
We're celebrating all month long at Nielsen Dodge
by giving you freedom of choice. Save up to $250 off service. Save up to $250 off accessories.
with leases for $250 or under.
You'll start feeling the vibes the minute you arrive. Fun is in the driver's seat.
Lisa new 2026 Jeep Grand Cherokee Limited 4x4. Just $250 a month. Yes, just $250 a month.
There's always zero down payment. The credit help you need. More savings with your trade-in.
And of course, great deals. For leases $250 or under, hurry to Route 10 in East Hanover. Online at NielsenDodge.com.
At Nielsen Dodge.
Fun is in the driver's seat.
Make this the summer event. With approval, term 24 months, due at sign, 6343, add tax tag and DMV fees. See dealer for details.
Summer in New York and New Jersey just got hotter. Tim McGraw, the Pawn Shop Guitar Tour. Get lost in the songs you love to sing. With special guests, 49 Winchester, PNC Bank Arts Center, Friday, July 10th, and Northwell at Jones Beach Theater on July 24th. Tickets on sale now at livenation.com. Part of the Cadillac Tri-State Concert Series.
Ford Motor Company is stepping up to the plate as the official vehicle sponsor of MLB. Ford will support the game at every level, from Little League to the pros, and deliver unique fan experiences, like the Drive Them Home Sweepstakes, your chance to win a new Ford F-150, Expedition, or Bronco. Enter now at FordDriveThemHome.com. No purchase necessary. Open to legal residents of the 50 U.S. states and D.C. 18 and over with a valid driver's license. Ends October 12th, 2026. For rules, visit FordDriveThemHome.com/rules. Major League Baseball trademarks used with permission.
The New York Giants are getting ready for a new season. What are your expectations for Big Blue? Join the conversation at 888-808-1019. The WFAN phone line is powered by Paramount Plus. Paramount Plus presents the biggest summer in UFC history.
What could have been stories are my favorite because it's fun to fantasize about, wow, that almost happened. What would the world have been like if this occurred? Now, some of it's depressing, like Alex Rodriguez signing with the Mets instead of the Texas Rangers, because that would have probably made me happier as a human being. And others are more just fascinating. So Seth Wickenham Wickensham, I think is his name.
Yeah.
Wickensham came out with a very long article about Sean Payton, about the head coach of the Denver Broncos. And buried in the middle of the article is this unbelievable gem. Unbelievable. When Bill Belichick and the New England Patriots divorced in 2024, Sean Payton considered presenting Broncos owner Greg Penner a proposal for the ages. Hire Bill Belichick as head coach until he reached 15 wins, enough to break Don Shula's career mark of 347. Sean Payton would temporarily step down to become the assistant head coach and run the offense, and then move back after Belichick became the all-time leader. In the end, it was too complicated and maybe too fanciful. Tiki, I mean, what do you think of that?
That would have been epic and awesome. And, I mean, selfless, I guess, by Sean Payton. But it would have also gotten a phenomenal defensive coach. Not that they need one, because Vance Joseph has actually been pretty good out there as their defensive coordinator. But can you imagine that story? But it's also not governed by anything. Like, what's stopping any NFL team from doing that. Like it's a free for all basically with coaches, and we've seen that for years. I mean, I guess the only way that it becomes an issue is if you have to trade. That's the only thing we've seen coaches kind of affect situations with players because you trade draft picks or whatever it may be. But you can do whatever you want. Why not?
Yeah, I guess where it would become difficult is Sean Payton still really the head coach? He's just naming Bill Belichick the head coach?
Of course.
Or
of course he's not the head coach.
So he's truly saying, this is your show. You get to make all the big decisions until we get to that win mark?
I mean, didn't he work for – no, he worked for –
He worked with Belichick under Bill Parcells. So they have a relationship working together.
He worked with Parcells in Dallas. Like he worked with Parcells. Yes, that's right.
Correct. He didn't work under Bill when Bill was a head coach, but they've worked together, I guess, in the past. And he has a great respect for Bill Belichick.
Right.
And in a lot of ways, it is very selfless to consider doing that. I guess the only issue would have been the semantics of who really is the head coach. Because
but does that matter? But does that matter? My question, does that matter? I mean, maybe there'd be a little bit of questions in the locker room. But I think Sean would clearly be the offensive head coach. It kind of like Josh McDaniels as the head coach or the offensive head coach. You know what I mean? The offensive coordinator with the New England Patriots all this time. Like, I don't think Bill Belichick had say in what plays Josh McDaniels was running, right?
I think he had overruling say, yeah. I mean, he's the head coach. He's the king. And that's where I think things would have gone bad. Like, the greatest intentions are met with reality. And the reality is Bill Belichick has a massive ego. Sean Payton has a massive ego. And while you could write this down on paper as, oh, this is how it's going to work, it's going to be great, when there's a decision that they disagree about during the fourth week of the season, is Sean Payton really going to be cool with the guy who's not really the head coach but is the head coach ultimately making a decision that he disagrees with?
Well, if they're winning, I don't think it matters, honestly. Right. If they're winning, I don't think, even if there are disagreements is the best way to put it, I don't think it would matter as long as they're winning. So that would have been awesome just to talk about, just to have as a sports topic over and over and again each and every week.
And you know what that story also tells you? Sean Payton knew what I think a lot of people assumed, which is that Bill was not getting another head coaching job. That he kind of read the room that, wow, if he's ever going to break that record, it's going to have to be doing something creative like this because the team isn't just going to simply hire him and make him the head coach. And now that we're multiple years away from it, I think we all agree he's just never going to be a head coach in the NFL again.
No, I think it's over, which makes you feel bad that they kind of prevented him from getting into the Hall of Fame on his first ballot because they thought he was coming back to the NFL. And he's not. I don't think he's ever coming back.
Not happening. Well, we're all a little bit hungry at 12:35, so Connor, don't call me Hughes Green. Feed us.
Sean Moraes in the booth. Somebody hide the castle. Optics flying, phones ringing, Evans yelling. No! Tiki's laughing, chaos cracking, nobody's in control. It's Cinco de Roncho. Bam! Crunch! Let's go!
All right, guys, and Cinco de Luncho is brought to you by Helix Wireless, connecting everything, everywhere. So a lot of people upset after the U.S. men's team lost last night to Belgium. So here are the top 5 ways to move on from the U.S. men's soccer loss. Here we go.
Here we go! Number 5.
Number 5, you can remember that actually you really just don't care that much about soccer. Yesterday, I was a little broken up after the loss, and then I sat there for about 5 minutes, and I said, I don't care about soccer. Soccer's boring. So that's it, and you just move on.
Stop it,
Easy
Connor.
money.
Stop it.
Here we go.
Number 4.
Number 4, you can be happy that you don't have to sit through any more hydration breaks. Instead, you'll sit through actual commercial breaks like we do in a proper country. Here we go.
Hydration breaks are a chance for you to get a free beer, too. Another beer, too.
Number 3, you can remember that if you really wanted to watch grown men flop around and beg for calls and beg for fouls, if that's really what you're into and what you want to watch, well, basketball starts up in about 2 months, so no biggie. Here we go.
Number 2.
If you're tired of foreign officials deliberately rigging games against the United States, you can watch something much more American and much more fair. Something like professional wrestling. Much less rigged, much more American, much better than soccer. Here we go.
Number 1.
And the number one way to move on from the U.S. soccer loss, if you really want, you can find an English Premier League team to root for and pretend to be a fan of them for a while. So that's what I did. I remember back in 2010, I was a Tottenham Hotspur fan for about 3 weeks.
That's your problem. You picked the Spurs.
I picked the Spurs, who almost got relegated this year, Tiki. Not good. And last year, I think, too.
I know.
But I watched some games for a little bit, and then I couldn't get up at 7 a.m., so I watched it for about 3 weeks. And then I realized, back to the original point, that I really just didn't care that much about soccer, and you kind of forget about it after a little so that's it.
Oh, you're crazy. You're crazy.
It's a great list, though. It's a very accurate list.
You and Phil from the Mets chat are Hotspur fan. Tottenham fans. Terrible Tottenham fans.
My favorite Tottenham player is Robbie Keane, who I believe retired about 15 years ago.
Oh, geez, that was long. That was a long time ago. You weren't mature enough to be a EPL fan yet. That's why it was short-lived.
What I couldn't believe about the Premier League, and I didn't know this, is that they don't have a playoff. It's simply if you finish with the best record, you're the champion, and that's it.
Yeah, if you win atop the table, then you're the champion of the Premier League. But if you're top 3, even though this year I think it was top 5 because of, I don't know, league ranking or whatever it may be, you go into the Champions League. And the Champions League's where you really make a lot of money, rights money and stuff like that. So you really just want to finish top 3, and you want to avoid finishing bottom 3. This is what Jake called about earlier. In EPL and all the European club leagues, if you're bottom 3, you get relegated to a lower level, and it means less money to build your roster. There's less prestige. So you definitely want to stay out of the relegation zone. And Tottenham almost got relegated last year.
I just can't believe that there wouldn't be a playoff. I think one of the great inventions in sports is that the season's over and now the playoffs begin. And obviously there have been more layers of the playoffs added over the years. It didn't always work that way, but there's at least a championship round.
Yeah, but they also have tournaments all season long. So like league tournaments.
Like the in-season basketball tournament that the Knicks won?
Like the FA Cup?
Yep, the FA Cup. There's the League Cup. Like there's all these things that go on throughout the season. So winning just the regular season is just winning. It's winning the EPL. Yeah, we're the champions of the English Premier League or the Bundesliga or La Liga or Ligue 1 or whatever.
Baseball did this in 1895. Like before the first World Series in 1903, that's what they did. Like, I have the best record in the National League. I won the pennant. That's it. That was 140 years ago that they did that. Now, we at least came to our senses that there should be a World Series. And eventually, of course, they added divisions and playoffs and wild cards and things got a little nuts. I'll admit that.
Yeah, but why? But why? This is the... I've said this many times on the show. The answer is money.
Yes.
Now give me the question. So why did Major League Baseball do that? Money.
Okay.
Money.
And I agree. But I think we'd all admit that that's better than just having a regular season champion. Can you imagine that? If in baseball we're just like, you won the National League, that's it. You go right to the World Series like they did prior to 1968, 1969. Like, that would suck. That would suck.
But it's fair. You play everybody. So everybody plays everybody.
I'm not saying it isn't fair. I'm saying it's boring. I'm saying it sucks. I love the fact that we have playoffs.
They play 38 games, so it's every team you play twice, right? So it's fair.
You could make the argument that might be the most fair way to determine a champion.
100%.
That is the team with the best record, I guess, is the best team.
Right,
but then it is a little boring that you don't get the single elimination playoff.
Yeah, but like you have that in the Champions League, right? You have that in the FA Cup. You have that in the what's the one that starts the season? I'm forgetting now off the top of my head. Whatever it is, they have all these different cups where anything can happen, and you play each team home and away. Season's over. Who has the best record? That's what it comes down to.
Fair is correct, but fair doesn't equal entertaining, and there needs to be a balance. Now, I'd argue that sports has gotten out of whack with the playoffs, where for the sheer hope of entertainment, it's become a little crazy. 3 wild card teams, even the 7 playoff teams in the NFL. Like, I think they've gone too far. But I still wouldn't want there to only be one team making the playoffs the way it used to be prior to divisions in 1969.
Yeah, but
so
this
there
isn't
needs
making
to be
the playoffs. This is winning the league. That's the difference.
I know. That's worse.
The problem is this is an EPL. I guess it's other leagues as well. Like Man City has dominated, and that's because they don't necessarily adhere to the financial fair play rules, meaning you have to only spend on your roster what you make from your team, but because they're owned by a Saudi fund, like they cheated, right? And they have all of these accusations against them. They never go to trial. They never go to court. Or you get a season like this year where Arsenal wins with 3 or 4 weeks left in the season, or last year when Liverpool won. I mean, it was over by, I don't know, middle of January. So it's like sometimes it becomes non-competitive and not interesting. And then you end up just looking at who's getting relegated. Like, who are the worst teams? Who's going down this year as opposed to who's winning?
What a weird sport! I got to tell you,
it is a weird sport. But once you get into it, it's just it's a different way of enjoying like sports. It's not like NFL. It's not like baseball. It's not like NBA. There isn't a playoff. It's you got to perform. Regular season matters because the regular season is the only thing.
Yeah, no,
Evan, we need you on the Tottenham bandwagon.
Don't do it.
We need
Don't
you.
do it.
That's not happening.
Don't do it.
I get on any bandwagon. As part of sports is civic pride, even if the civic pride teams I root for have fewer fans than the other civic pride teams in our town.
Civic meaning like in town for you, like local to
like
you?
all the teams I root for, I know that some
By the way,
end up rooting for teams outside. I don't. Like, my teams are all local teams.
And by the way,
there's
that's
a pride
why
to that.
That's why European soccer, really soccer around the world, is so intense because it's like literally their town. Like Liverpool is a town. Like
yeah, but it's
Manchester
not your
is
town.
a city. I know it's
someone
not my
else's
city,
town.
but I wanted to follow European soccer, so I picked a town to adopt whatever.
And there's
it
a
may
lot of
be.
Dolphins fans in the New York area. Steelers fans
Right.
too.
That's right.
And I
Rondé
respect
picked Man
it.
United because his owners, who he's close with, the Glazers, they own Man United, so he became a Man United fan. So
I
there's
get you.
always some tie. You find it.
I respect
I don't know
it.
why. We got to find out why Phil is a Tottenham fan.
I don't know. And I get that there are Dolphin fans in New York, so it works both ways. I'm saying I'm just not that kind of person. I root for the basically my formula is the crappier of the local teams with lesser fans. That's my team. Oh, so
Right.
the small guy in town, that's who I root for. So does that go between Red Bull and NYCFC?
Yes.
Which fan base is smaller? Who is more of the little brother in town? NYCFC or the Red Bulls?
That's a good question.
That's a great question, right?
They're kind of the same. I would.
Oh.
No, I'd guess Red Bulls is smaller just because it's
Oh,
in
really?
New Jersey.
Damn it.
And NYCFC has all this, influence behind it. And
Yeah.
it's all of New York. I would say NYCFC is bigger.
So I'd be a
but
hypocrite
I'm
by-
locally MLS. I'm a Red Bull fan.
I get you. For me, I would be a hypocrite if I rooted for NYCFC based on that. Let's get back to your calls. 888-808-1019 is the number. Let's go all the way up to Alaska, which is, I hear, very pretty to visit this time of year. Tim, what's going on, Tim?
Hey, so great, guys. First time, long time. I'm just going to ask a quick question, then I'll hang up and let you guys get to the answer. But being a teacher, you're going to have to explain yourselves. With the lockout slant strike coming up, I'm looking at free agency. Are the players going to try and sign November, December, or wait? And are the owners going to try and sign November, December, and wait? And being a teacher, you have to say why. Have a great day, guys.
Oh,
Yeah,
I like that.
good question.
We've got to show our work.
Thanks, Tim.
I'm going to base it on 21 into 22 because that's the last time we had an in-off-season lockout, and basically it was 2 off-seasons. We had some signings prior to December, and then we had craziness once they settled in March. My guess, because it is a little bit different because the MLB owners are really pushing for a salary cap. It's the first time they've pushed for a salary cap since 1994. My assumption is they are going to be the ones who are not going to want to sign players.
Yes,
that
I agree with that,
players
Evan.
will want to sign. Tarek Skubal will be like, hey, give me $500 million. And I think the owners, and they'll be accused of collusion, but I think the owners are going to try to maintain because, A, they don't know what the rules are going to be. So even from a competitive standpoint, why are you handing out a big contract if you don't know what the rules are? So I think that's going to be a pre-lockout controversy that players will want to sign, owners will hesitate, and they will even bicker about the non-signings prior to the lockout.
I think the one thing that we did learn also from 2021 is that the owners can't afford to not have games, right? We talk about this often in the NFL, how like the Jets, nobody could go. It doesn't matter. There's a $100 billion contract that's split evenly among all the teams. You are not failing, even if you're failing on the field in the NFL. The Jets are a $7 billion, $8 billion company because of the TV rights deals. Whereas in Major League Baseball, we saw this with the lockout, where if they don't have asses in seats, right? If Steve Cohen's not getting 30,000, 35,000 people every night, it severely hampers their bottom line, mainly because their regional sports networks, all of those that we talk about, they're failing. Like they're hemorrhaging money. And the only way that they're going to get any stability without playing games is if they have a collective bargaining of all the TV rights. So all 30 teams are going to have to come together and 30 teams are going to have to come together and figure out how to collectively bargain those television rights. Otherwise, they're never going to make real money. The only team that makes money off their regional sports deal is the Dodgers. And it's a ton of money, but they have to split it. 50% has to go back to the league. And so it's just like owners are not going to spend money if they know they're not making money. And I don't think they can guarantee making money next year. So there are going to be no signings, I think, if this lockout goes as far as we think it is.
Steve Cohen said that 2027 won't be affected by potential new rules because let's say there is a salary cap. And I have been pretty consistent that I don't think the players will ever agree to it. We'd have to shut down a season to get a salary cap. So I still err on the side that there won't be a salary cap.
But what if that happens?
So I think there will be major grandfathered clauses that involve it. Like I don't think the Mets and the Dodgers.
But aren't you at a competitive, financially disadvantage if you're grandfathered in to a ridiculous deal that no other team is going to get close to?
Well, what do you mean? Like how they get their cap number down to whatever the new cap is?
No, not even that. It's just now you're overpaying for a guy who you don't now have to overpay for. You know what I mean? Like no matter what happens going forward, let's just say there's a semblance, even if it's not a full salary, whatever it is. The Mets are always going to have overpaid Juan Soto. You know what I mean? It's never going to feel like, oh, we got a deal on Juan Soto. So the same thing's going to be with Shohei Ohtani for the Dodgers, whoever else.
As great as he is, yeah. No, I get you.
Right. It's relative to what the other owners want. Those guys are always going to be massive overpays.
I'll give you a great example of it, and it's a different sport, but it's clearly the CBA impacting it. Jaylen Brown was traded to the 76ers, and the other day Brad Stevens had to meet the media and explain why, and he was blunt. We can't pay Jaylen Brown the rest of his contract in this second apron salary cap world. It's just not smart, and that was the reason they traded him. And by the way, they're not wrong. Like, this new CBA makes it untenable to have two guys making an enormous amount of money. It's like the Cavaliers just signed Donovan Mitchell. That's an atrocious contract. Like, if you win an NBA championship, fine, but it's going to be very difficult to maintain your roster and any kind of flexibility when guys are making that kind of money. So you're right that we may be looking at a world in which having a Juan Soto or a Shohei Ohtani, despite the discount and the deferred money, how it negatively benefits you. I'm just assuming that the owners are going to work out some kind of grandfather clause way so that the Mets and the Dodgers are not completely screwed based on a potential new salary cap.
Right.
And so
maybe that's the only way that we get some signings. If you feel that that's going to be part of it, then you get some signings. If not,
and that's why, Tiki, you would sign Scooble, because if you know deep down, hey, we may get a cap, but any contract signed prior to the work stoppage is going to be grandfathered in, then sign them. Then sign them before the lockout, because you may get some help in being able to maintain that contract under your cap for the next decade.
Well, I mean, what will happen, Evan, is that nobody else is going to get those kind of ridiculous contracts. So even because you're the Yankees and you do make a good amount of revenue, you're helped on the back end. You know what I mean? Like, you spend it on the front end with Scooble before the work stoppage, but you're helped on the back end because now you're not having to pay exorbitant salaries anymore.
Yeah, it's fascinating. I think the long-winded answer to his question is none of us knows. And I don't even think the owners and players know, but it's going to be a wild time. Like, as frustrating as the lockout's going to be, the moments prior to the lockout and then whenever this thing is settled, it's going to be like the wild, wild west and a new world when it comes to MLB offseason activity.
No doubt about it.
Jeff is in New Haven, Connecticut. Hey, Jeff.
Hey, Evan. Hey, Tiki. How you guys doing?
All's well, man. How are you?
Good. So the past weeks, months, maybe since the beginning of the year, mainly Sean, and I wish he was here today, has talked about how terrible the American League is. And I agree. The American League, in comparison to the National League, stinks. But then that's where the conversation stops. They say the American League stinks, so the Yankees can do this. Or the American League isn't very good, so the Yankees should be able to do that. But then they don't talk about the Yankees, and 2 and 2 should go together. If the American League stinks and the Yankees are in the American League, maybe they need to look in the mirror and think, maybe the Yankees aren't very good.
Yeah, well, it's also the Yankees aren't full strength yet, right? Aaron Judge is not here. Giancarlo Stanton is not here. Jazz has been dealing with injuries and the pressure of being in a contract year. They don't have a third baseman. Catcher is untenable at the plate. Like they have all of these issues that have plagued them this season, and they're still like the best team in the American League. Like other teams that would go through what the Yankees have been through would be sitting around 500. Now the Yankees are only 10 games over 500, but I think what he's saying is they should be 20 games over 500. They should be dominating. But let's not forget, they also play National League teams, right? They play some good teams along the way.
But I think he's misunderstanding why guys like Sean or even me bring up how mediocre the American League is. We bring it up to remind you that as flawed as the Yankees are, they still have as good a chance as anybody, if not a better chance than anybody in the league, to win the pennant. That's why we bring it up. We're not bringing it up to defend the Yankees. It's more a reminder that it's like the grading system in school, right? When you're graded on a curve.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if the American League's loaded or sucks as long as you win it. And despite Aaron Judge being out, and despite the lack of anything they're getting from behind the plate, and the questions at shortstop, and the questions at third base, and the questions in their bullpen, all which are fair, they are still as good, if not better, than every other team in the American League. And that's why it's brought up. It's a reminder that the Yankees are more than capable of winning this league because it's not that good.
No, you're right. There are 15 teams in the American League. 5 of them have over 500 records. 5. 5. And a couple are close to just barely being over.
And you know what's even more than that, Tiki, because you're right about the records and the numbers. Now I ask you the follow-up. Okay, we're about 52% the way through the season. When you look at the American League, and we've seen most of these teams now, who genuinely can get really good? And to me, the only answer besides the Yankees is the Seattle Mariners. Like the White Sox, the Guardians, anybody in the American League East. I know the Rays have done a great job, so I guess we'll put them up there to a degree. But it's not as if, yes, everyone's underachieving, but don't worry, there's 2 or 3 monsters that are going to wake up. Who's the monster in the American League? I think Seattle is really good. I picked them to go to the World Series before the season, so I'll at least at 47 and 44 say, hey, you know what? They have a chance to have a huge second half, end up winning 90 games and being a real factor. But outside of that, most of these teams that are hanging around, Teak, they ain't that good.
No, they're not. I mean, Chicago's been good at home. That's why, that's what's buoyed them. They've only lost 14 times at home. But even look at a team like I just look at the Red Sox. The Red Sox are hot. They've won 80% of their games over the last 10, 8-2 over the last 10. They're so buried, it'd be like the Mets going on an 8-game winning streak. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, that's cool. But what have you done? Because you killed yourself so early in the season.
It's so funny.
Like, when you look at these other teams, a lot of them are like that.
It's so funny you say that because the Mets have won 2 in a row, and they're about to open up a 6-game homestand against Kansas City and Boston.
Right.
Let's say, by some craziness, the Mets go 6-0 on this homestand, and they do win 8 in a row going into the All-Star break, which would get them to 9 games under 500 at the break.
Right.
What would you say about the New York Mets going into the All-Star break?
I'd say they still stink, and they have no chance of making the postseason.
Me too. I'd be happy. Like, I'd be excited that they're winning games.
You want to see them win. Like last night, I wanted to see him win, and I'm watching Devin Williams, and he gets what do you have, a double? He gave up a double, and he ends up getting on third, and then he gives up a home run. I'm like, that was the most predictable home run that tied the game in the history of home runs.
That was predictable. But you know what was unpredictable? What was unpredictable is Luis Torrens with 2 outs behind in the count, ripping a 2-run double.
That's true.
Who saw that coming? Right. More of your calls next at 888-808-1019. And the Yankees go through different major rivals. It's the Red Sox sometimes. It was the Blue Jays last year. I'll tell you why Yankees-Rays is the absolute worst. It's evident, Tiki, until 2 o'clock this afternoon.
From the makers of Surfside, something new is hitting the shelves this summer. Introducing Super Light, the new Vodka Plus Aid canned cocktail inspired by classic sports drink flavors. Super Light comes in 4 delicious ones: fruit punch, orange, lemon lime, and blue chill. With only 90 calories, 0 sugar, and 0 bubbles, Super Light delivers a refreshing taste that's perfect for summer. Whether you're hitting the green, shooting hoops with friends, or soaking up the sun, Super Light is here to fuel the moment. Look for Super Light variety packs and individual flavors at stores and bars near you. Must be 21 plus. Please drink responsibly.
Talk sports after hours with Tommy Lugauer, 7 to midnight. WFAN, WFAN FM, WFAN FM HD1 New York, an Odyssey sports station.
This is an Odyssey Sports Minute.
When push comes to shove, true superstars show up in the biggest moments, and the players that shrink in those moments end up going down as just another guy. It's starting to look like after another failure on the biggest stage, Christian Pulisic may be just another guy. Can he be very good at times? Yes. But will he ever be great enough to carry the U.S. men's national team over the round of 16 hump they can't get over? Seems less likely than ever. I'm Chris Matthews.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer at a beverage manufacturing plant, he starts his day knowing every line is ready to run because Grainger delivers the industrial-grade products he needs to keep mixers, conveyors, and packaging equipment moving. With Grainger's vast selection of bearings, belts, and motors, he keeps operations running smoothly, so nothing grinds to a halt. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
When you first saw her, she was out walking her dog. You didn't notice her at first. But when you finally did, it was too late. Because at that moment, you were speeding. She was out walking her dog and only had a second to let go of the leash. Your foot was on the gas, and her life was on the line. Speeding catches up with you. Paid for by NHTSA.
Today's Matchday Preview is presented by Fanatics Sportsbook. Download the Fanatics Sportsbook app today. Winning hits different here. They matched up 4 years ago in the semifinals of the World Soccer Championship, and they will meet again in the quarterfinal as France will take on Morocco in Foxborough, Massachusetts. And after surviving Mexico, England will take on Norway in the quarterfinals in Miami. France is still your heavy favorite to win the title at plus 180, with only 3 games left to win. England's odds have dropped to plus 550 after their dramatic win in Mexico City. Norway are still 16-1 to win the trophy after their upset against Brazil, and Morocco are 28-1 to win it all, with markets giving them a 10% chance to reach the final match. This has been your official Odyssey Sports Matchday Preview, brought to you by Fanatics Sportsbook. Winning hits different here. Listen in ahead of each match day for the latest betting insights from Fanatics all tournament long.
For adults with Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis symptoms, every choice matters. Tremfya offers self-injection or intravenous infusion from the start. Tremfya is administered as injections under the skin or infusions through a vein every 4 weeks, followed by injections under the skin every 4 or 8 weeks. If your doctor decides that you can self-inject Tremfya, proper training is required. Tremfya is a prescription medicine used to treat adults with moderately to severely active Crohn's disease and adults with moderately to severely active ulcerative colitis. Serious allergic reactions, increased risk of infections or lower ability to fight them, and liver problems may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection, flu-like symptoms, or need a vaccine. Explore what's possible. Ask your doctor about Tremfya today. Call 1-800-526-7736 to learn more or visit tremfyaradio.com.
Hey, Boomer Esiason here. After years in the game, I don't guess. I go with what works. With Red Pocket Mobile, you lock in your rate and you keep it. No price creep, no sudden jumps, just straightforward pricing and premium 5G plans starting at $10 a month. Visit redpocket.com to see why more Americans are switching to better wireless without paying more. Red Pocket Mobile, your new ultimate cell carrier.
Orgavadazona? Is that a word? In the 2026 Kia Sportage Turbo Hybrid, it might as well be, because it can be one road trip. It's all about turbocharged power and hybrid efficiency working together, so you get the thrill of quick acceleration and the satisfaction of fuel efficiency. Book a test drive and keep the adventure going. Kia, movement that inspires.
Call 800-3334-KIA for details. Always drive safely.
When I scraped my car in that parking garage, I was worried that it could be a long process to take care of it. Like a landscaper's first day trimming a hedge maze.
I have definitely already been here. Now, was it left, right, or right, left? Well, maybe I'll cut a path out and find my way back later.
But it wasn't like that. I filed a claim in under 2 minutes on the Geico app, and they handled it from there. It was taken care of almost as quickly as it happened.
It feels good to get help quick. It feels good to Geico.
If you're still using a sportsbook to bet on the soccer tournament, you're getting robbed. Delete that app and join the millions using Polymarket. Polymarket is a prediction market, not a sportsbook. Trade against other fans, not the house. Polymarket, your go-to prediction market for soccer's biggest stage. Available in all 50 states. Download the Polymarket app. Use promo code BLAZE to unlock $50 free for your first trade. That's promo code BLAZE. Trading not available in all jurisdictions. Check local regulations before trading. Restrictions and eligibility apply.
This is John D'Agostino from D'Agostino & Associates. It's not easy being an accident victim these days. I mean, how do you choose the right lawyer? The radio, TV, buses, and billboards are filled with law firms making the same old promises, bragging about the same big results. They talk about their proven track record and hope they'll get you to sign on the dotted line. But then what? If a lawyer tells you from day one what your case is worth, please turn around and run. If a lawyer tells you how quickly they'll get your case settled, I beg you, turn around and run. The right lawyer is not a fortune teller. The right lawyer is honest, straightforward, and knows every case is different. He or she will have the experience to get you every dollar you deserve at the right time. So if you want to know your rights and you want to be told the truth, call D'Agostino & Associates today at 888-24-LAW-24. That's 888-24-LAW-24 and ask for me, John D'Agostino, because I've been there and I'll be there for you. D'Agostino, Law, Bite Back.
For adults with Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis symptoms, every choice matters. Tremfya offers self-injection or intravenous infusion from the start. Tremfya is administered as injections under the skin or infusions through a vein every 4 weeks, followed by injections under the skin every 4 or 8 weeks. If your doctor decides that you can self-inject Tremfya, proper training is required. Tremfya is a prescription medicine used to treat adults with moderately to severely active Crohn's disease and adults with moderately to severely active ulcerative colitis. Serious allergic reactions, increased risk of infections or lower ability to fight them, and liver problems may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection, flu-like symptoms, or need a vaccine. Explore what's possible. Ask your doctor about Tremfya today. Call 1-800-526-7736 to learn more or visit tremfyaradio.com.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer at a beverage manufacturing plant, he starts his day knowing every line is ready to run because Grainger delivers the industrial-grade products he needs to keep mixers, conveyors, and packaging equipment moving. With Grainger's vast selection of bearings, belts, and motors, he keeps operations running smoothly, so nothing grinds to a halt. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Here's a World Soccer Championship Team Spotlight, brought to you by Liberty Mutual Insurance. Only pay for what you need.
England carries genuine expectations this time. A composed striker leads a squad packed with Premier League talent. The three Lions are well organized, physical in midfield, and lethal from set pieces.
Brought to you by Liberty Mutual Insurance. Only pay for what you need.
Our friends at Town Fair Tire remind you that at Town Fair Tire, you always get the guaranteed lowest price on name brand tires from Connecticut to Maine. Nobody beats Town Fair Tire, nobody.
The Mets are making noise in Queens. What's your take on the Amazings? Call us now at 888-808-1019. The WFAN phone line is powered by Paramount Plus. Paramount Plus presents the biggest summer in UFC history.
A year ago, we had a discussion here on Evan and Tiki about the Yankees' blood rival. Like, who in 2025 at the time is the Yankees' biggest rival? And Tiki brought up the Dodgers, even though they're in a different league. That's the new evil empire. That's the team you measure yourself against. You play them every year now. They're the team you lost to in the World Series. And it makes sense. And I even brought up the Mets because of Juan Soto and New York and all that. And Sean was very adamant that it will forever be the Boston Red Sox. And obviously last year that got rekindled because they played each other in the postseason. And then obviously the Blue Jays, that took a hit because they played each other in the postseason for the first time ever. And I think what we all agreed with is that it evolves. Obviously, the Red Sox will always be there as the team that you hate the most, but based on who you're battling with in the American League East, based on the nature of the sport, it's going to evolve. I'm here to tell you that when it's Yankees-Rays, it's the absolute worst. I hate it. It's just
Why?
Because, number one, the stadium is not even a stadium. Okay, They play in a shopping mall. So when the Yankees go to Boston, it's Fenway. When the Yankees go to Baltimore, it's this beautiful ballpark that, it's close geographically. Lots of good Oriole fans, and yes, Yankee fans show up. Toronto, one of the great home field advantages you'll ever see. They play in like an airplane container. It's got no personality. And honestly, do the Rays even have fans? Like, do they actually have people that like the baseball team? So it's just, I don't know, Teak. It's very antiseptic.
Yeah, no, I can feel that because it almost feels like at least half, if they're playing down there, are Yankee fans. They're displaced New Yorkers, and it's a chance to go to a game in beautiful weather in southern Florida or mid-Florida, and there's no real rooting interest down there for them. And so the energy isn't the same. I mean, one of the things I used to love about Philadelphia, and it's kind of how I knew I was ready to retire when I stopped feeling this, you'd go to Philly and the fans were so like viscerally hating you that it got you up for something. And I don't feel like you have that kind of energy in Tampa. I just don't.
No.
It's a baseball town because there's baseball there, but it's not a baseball town.
No, it's just nothing. And, like, they have good players. Like, Yandy Diaz is a good player. Junior Camaro's becoming a star. Like, I'm not trying to diminish who they are, but they're also never going to add anybody. Like, they'll never be that big evil where the Yankees and the Rays are competing for the same free agent like you did with Boston, like you could even do with Baltimore at some points. But the Rays are just, like, blah. So I don't know. If they play them in the postseason and they may be headed towards that road where we get a Yankees-Rays ALCS or a Yankees-Rays divisional series based on the way things fall, it's just...
Yeah, I think the problem, Evan, is that it's not a northeast rival. Like, Boston is right here. Baltimore is kind of like it's right here. I mean, even Toronto, it feels it's close. Florida feels like it's a long way away.
It does.
It doesn't feel like it's the same environment or the same kind of fan. You know what I mean? It doesn't feel like there is that Northeast. I'm grizzled because I hate the winter. I just I love sports because it's all I have sometimes in these dreary months. Florida doesn't feel that way. It's different.
It's like that. That's how I describe it. It's like, kind of one of those rivals. But, hey, right now, from a player standpoint, from a team standpoint, from a threat standpoint, they're a good team. And they played really well. And they're the team the Yankees are trying to catch to win the American League East. But it is not the same as Yankees-Red Sox. It's not the same as Yankees-Blue Jays. It's not even the same as Yankees-Orioles. It just isn't. Right. We'll get back to your calls. 888-808-1019 is the number. Let's go to Anthony in Bridgewater, New Jersey. What's up, Anthony?
Hey, Ant.
What's up, guys? Thanks for taking my call, guys. Great show as always. Listen, I'm going to talk about the disaster of the Mets right now, even though I watch every game, so I guess I don't know who's thicker. First off, I'm so worried about David Stearns making these trades. A couple of years ago when they got rid of Scherzer, paid all that money, got those prospects, you guys realize none of those guys are even on the team anymore? He traded those guys, and those guys, it's like that was nothing. And the next thing is, I can't even hear the idea of Lindor being traded when Alonso left last year, and you are paying $1 billion almost to Juan Soto and losing basically anything around him. It doesn't make any sense. Like, why pay him in the short term when you know this is going to be his prime of his career, when you already got rid of a huge bat last year, and you're getting rid of someone next year that you would be looking for in free agency? Tell me Lindor wouldn't be a good signing for the Mets.
No, you're 100% right, and we talked about this. Free agency is barren. So it's not as if you're clearing out money to sign a younger, better, or as good player. That's not the case. So that's why whenever this is brought up, the discourse around trading Lindor, I'm always open to saying, hey, team's bad, I'm open to anything, but I don't see where it makes you better. I don't see where that's the quicker route to winning anything. It just isn't. It's not the way I view it. And letting Alonso go in the short term, because it was a 5-year contract, so if we're going to be fair, that'll be judged as the years go on. But in year one, bro, it could not have been a bigger disaster, because not only do you miss the production of Pete Alonso, dare I say it, you miss the defense of Pete Alonso, because the defense at first base from the New York Mets this season has been atrocious. From Vientos to Jared Young to even the very small glimpses of Brett Beatty and 2 games of Jorge Polanco. The defense at first base for the New York Mets has been ass, to say the least.
Unfortunately, it's the poster child. It's not the wrong word, but it's like it's what we see when we hear David Stearns. It's a run prevention and Jorge Polanco is your first baseman. It is the example of why Met fans are so frustrated with David Stearns, because you preached all of this stuff. Meanwhile, Pete Alonso's doing what Pete Alonso does every year. Plays every game, gonna hit 40 home runs and hit bat 250. Right? He's just consistent. And the last thing you have now is consistency.
John is in Hoboken. What's going on today, John?
What's going on, guys? So you guys were talking a little bit before, and I've been wanting to call in about this for a while, but you brought up Dolphins fans around here. And it got me thinking, because I've been a Jet season ticket holder. Well, I wasn't a ticket holder when I was 3, but my dad was, and I have been. I'm 29 now. Mm-hmm. And every year I always see all these away fans, and I start to ask them, like, why are you a fan? And I have no problem with, you're a Chiefs fan, you're from Kansas City, you live here now, or my dad was a Steelers fan, so I'm a Steelers fan. But 9 times out of 10, it's always, I like the Vikings because I like purple and gold, or I like the Dolphins because Dan Marino, and it drives me up a wall because they take over our stadium. And another answer is, the Jets suck. And if the Knicks are any proof, when the Knicks always sucked, and these teams were passed on down to me. You stick it out, and you go through this. And when I went to the Jets Vikings game in London, and I went to an Arsenal game, and I met a guy who's a fan of Derby County, and that's bloodline. These people are fans forever. And all these idiots, all these clowns like teams because of players and colors. When like Evan, you're right, you should like the team that lives in your backyard. Or, if your dad, your uncle, your grandpa liked it, that's fine to be passed down. But you know what that makes your grandpa, your uncle, your dad? He was a clown back then for not liking him then.
My defense of those people would be, if you're 5 years old or you're 8 years old, you're young, right? So you're not a clown for liking the player or liking colors.
You're influenced by the people around you.
But if you pick a team based on something as dopey as you like a Dolphin and you think the colors are cool, but then you stick with that team and you become a loyal fan, are you really a clown? Or are you just someone who learned to be loyal at a young age?
I think that's just it's fandom. It's what fandom is. There is no reason you become fanatical about something, but eventually, if it makes sense to you, then it makes sense to you. It's as simple as that.
But it is weird how football dominates that. You do not hear as many stories about guys or gals becoming fans of the Pirates, yet we hear tons of stories about becoming fans of the Steelers. Yes. You don't hear those stories in baseball, even basketball as much. With basketball, it's more the star players like, I love Jordan, or I love Steph, or I love LeBron. But I think in Jordan and Steph's case, it's then easy to become a Bulls or Warriors fan. LeBron, just moved all over the place. So you're a Cleveland fan, a Miami fan, a Laker fan, what the hell are you? But football, it's very popular to be, I'm a Raider fan, I'm a Steeler fan, I'm a Dolphin fan, I'm a Viking fan. It's endless with the amount of out-of-market teams that people like. And to each his own. That's the phrase I learned once. Mm-hmm. Jay is calling from Belmar. Hey, Jay.
Privilege as always being on the show with you guys. You do a great job.
Thank you, Jay.
Thank you, man. What's up?
My question is, I feel like Cashman is 90% going to make a move to get a catcher, and I would love for him to get Adley if it always falls off. That's a pipe dream. And once he does, you move on from Wells, or do you slide him to that backup role? Because he did show that he was a competent catcher last year, and he did have a solid rookie year. And then that also can kind of tie into, realistically, with Judge's shoulder injury, when do you start thinking about first base? And then that brings up the Rice going back to catching. I would love to know what you guys think on that.
The Rice catching thing, Tiki, is so frustrating because since spring training, we have talked, all of us have, about, hey, can Ben Rice catch once a week? Can Ben Rice catch twice a week? We saw it last year. And they always had an excuse. And now it is mid-July. They're clearly never doing it. And it feels like something they didn't take advantage of, which would have given this team so much more flexibility if Ben Rice was even able once or twice a week to put the tools of ignorance on and just catch.
But does that then hamper his ability at the plate? Does it, if he's now game planning, spending that extra prep time getting ready to catch, which is not just sit behind home plate and catch fastballs and change ups and curveballs and things like that. That's not what you do. It's a lot of effort that goes into being a catcher mentally and physically. Does it now take away from what he has become as a hitter for this Yankee team? That's the only question I would have on it. And I think the Yankees are making a educated guess.
Doesn't mean he's the key to the trade because I think you'd have to probably offer more to entice someone to trade whatever catcher you're talking about. But I think a team would want Austin Wells back, and then B, let's say he isn't wanted back and you're not trading him, I would keep him as my backup. I think as we talked about earlier with Anthony Volpe, there's a difference between giving up on a player and just evaluating a player differently. Anthony Volpe is not someone I'm suggesting they should DFA or trade him for a bag of balls. I've merely said they should treat him as a super utility player, much like I say that about certain Met players. It's not that I'm saying DFA Brett Beatty. I'm saying treat him as a super utility player. And I think in the case of Austin Wells, Teague, I would just treat him as a backup catcher.
Yeah,
that's how I would view it.
You are what you play to. That's what he's playing as. Like as how he played, how his bat is. He is a backup catcher, and it's not a knock on him. It's just who he is right now. Now, can he evolve past that? We hope the hell so, but it hasn't happened anytime. It hasn't happened recently.
Connor is in Brooklyn. What's up, Connor?
Hey, Tiki and Evan, how are you?
All's good, dude. What's happening?
Not much. Big Yankees fan here. So with Caballero at short, the Yanks have a 32-18 record. With Volpe, they have a 16-20 record.
Right.
I prefer small ball, higher average, making contact, etc. But if we're so analytically driven, why is Volpe playing? We win more when Volpe isn't playing.
I'm glad you brought this up because I screenshotted this from last night's Yankee game. The stat he gave was on the broadcast, right? Yes. I have it right in front of me. It was sponsored by something called Hexclad, and it was labeled Cooking Up Something Special. So I assume that's a product that you cook stuff on. And it said Yankees record by starting shortstop. Jose Caballero, 31-18. Anthony Volpe, 16-20. Max Schumann, 2-1. And Ryan McMahon, 0-1. There is a major flaw with that stat. A major flaw. And again, I support Caballero being the everyday shortstop. So I could easily just be blind to the flaw in the stat, repeat it like it's the gospel, and say, see, Aaron Boone's an idiot. I cannot in good conscience do that because I know that in a bulk of the 49 games that Caballero played, guess who else played? Aaron Judge. Judge got hurt. Volpe was coming back. The bulk of Volpe's time has been without Aaron Judge.
It's a great point. That's not even talked about or thought about, but it's the reality of it.
Thank you.
That is that's so true, though.
And I ask you, so last night was such a crazy night with the World Cup, with the Mets, with Mikael Brown. I don't even know if I have the sound up at this point, so I'm not sure if Joe Girardi and Michael Kay acknowledged the flaw in the stat, but I'm here to tell you, there's a flaw in that stat.
Yeah, and it's a great stat. It's a great stat because it tells your story, but it's flawed.
Yes.
It tells you what you want to hear, or what I guess the fan wants to hear about Anthony Volpe, but it doesn't take into account the entirety of the team. It's still a team sport. right? As much as we want to talk about the individuals and what this guy does or what this guy doesn't do, it's a team sport.
And context matters.
Yes.
So I say it as somebody that agrees with the premise that Jose Caballero should be the everyday shortstop. I am not disagreeing with that at all. But that stat, when it was shown on the broadcast, made me laugh because I'm like, come on, man. I remember the timeline of this season. Caballero was the shortstop for the first 2 months while Aaron Judge was healthy. Right. And then Judge got hurt, and Volpe got healthy, and Volpe's played a lot. So the 16-20 record with Volpe at shortstop and the 31-18 record with Caballero at shortstop, I think a lot of that is attached to the other guys that were in the lineup, not as much who was the starting shortstop or who wasn't the starting shortstop. Mark is calling from the great borough of Brooklyn. What's going on, Mark?
Hey, guys. Thanks for taking my call. I apologize for interrupting the baseball talk, but I have 2 Knicks takes, if that's okay. The first is, and I have been meaning to give this take since the Knicks won the championship, but I actually think that Victor Wembanyama, in the lens of New York fans, specifically Knicks fans, is going to be like Tom Brady was for the way Giants fans looked. And the reason I say that is this. Every other fan in the league hates him. He's the hated one. Like, I went to university in Philly. Everyone hated Tom Brady, I guess, until they beat him too. But the point is, he's the most hated one. And then people ask you, oh, who do you hate? And it's like, I actually like Tom Brady. My team beat him twice. Like, oh, you hate Tom Brady? And that's going to be Wemby. Wemby, everyone and their mother is going to hate Wemby in this league. You know what? Except for, I am going to have nothing against Wemby. I have nothing against, I like him quite a bit, actually. So I just think that that's kind of an interesting comp, how it's the hated person that maybe the just have one up on. And then my last Knicks take, there's been so much made about Mitchell Robinson. I think we've all talked about this, with the fact that we won puts a little less attention on his finger. But I actually have the hot take. As much as I appreciate Mitch, he was drafted by us, whatnot, I actually don't think the Knicks wanted Mitch nearly as much as maybe the fans did, and I would agree with them on that. I think what you're looking at, like, you even look at Landry Shamet. Landry Shamet was our last addition last season on the veteran minimum. A year later, he's getting 4 years. Like, the amount that you need to commit to these guys, I don't think the Knicks had any interest in giving Mitchell Robinson 4 years at that number.
That's the key. It's not that
that's
they
what you
didn't,
nailed, right?
They didn't want him back. It's that they didn't want him back at that price. And I think what's become obvious is that they never made him a serious offer because of what you laid out, which is they didn't want to go into the second apron, as James Dolan made very clear a few weeks ago on this station. And they didn't view a guy who plays 18 minutes a night, as valuable as I think Mitch is, as valuable as a lot of Knicks fans think he is. They did not view him as a guy they wanted to go multiple years with at $15 million a year. And I think that's been proved by the actions of their lack of aggressiveness in bringing him back.
Yeah, and again, it sucks for Mitch because it felt like he was such a big part of what this Knicks team was. But when you really think about the last couple of years, you haven't seen him a ton. Yeah, he hasn't been available. And even going into this season, the questions that were surrounding him, like, what the hell is wrong with Mitch? Isn't he healthy? Didn't he have the surgery a year and a half ago? Like, why is he not? Why is he on a minutes restriction at this point? Why is he only playing 5 minutes this game, or 10 minutes in this game? I think it becomes something that becomes daunting from a coaching staff and an organization to manage. And so, yeah, he was great. He was paramount for them winning a championship, and no one's ever going to forget that. But let's not act like it was the ideal circumstances over the last couple of years with Mitchell Robinson.
We have a long way to go with Victor Wembanyama. Like, obviously,
he's got to win before we start hating him like that.
Yeah, and it's not going to be easy. Like, it bothered me, and you did it too. That's why we made our little bet on how often Wemby's going to win. I think we made a long-term bet on how many championships he's going to win. Yes. And I think I said he'll get one at the end of his career, and you're like, I think he's going to win 5, I think was your guess. We have the audio saved. We'll check on that in about 15 years. It's not a knock on him. It's more twofold. Number one, winning is tough. I think the NBA has shown that over the last half a decade. Like, getting to back-to-back finals is tough, let alone winning back-to-back championships. The Western Conference is only going to get tougher. And B, is he going to stay healthy? Like, that is a major question I have as he gets older. Well, is someone with that body going to stay healthy for the majority of his career? And because of that, I am a lot more skeptical about him winning a ton of championships and getting back there than many others are.
Yeah, for me, it's obviously his greatness. We know he's a great player, but it's also the team around him is just young. It's young, and they're only going to get better. The Dylan Hoppers and Stephen Castle, they're only going to get better. So the supporting cast is going to improve as he evolves into a superstar, or I think he already is a superstar, but as he evolves into a mature potential champion, that's when you look at him and start saying, man, this team can win every year. That's why I think he's going to win a bunch. Not any other reason. Nothing about him specifically. It's just the team has the potential to be really good.
The people want to know, Tiki Barber, why are you in Indianapolis and what's going down over the next day or two in Indianapolis?
Yeah, I'm filming a show out here, and everybody has dogs. You have dogs. I have two dogs. I have a Saluki, I have a Dachshund, Millie, and CJ the other way around, obviously not respectively, because CJ's the Saluki. And we love our dogs, and our dogs are sometimes good athletes. And so I'm doing a show. It's going to be on Roku, the NFL. It's called Pups and Pros. And so we're going to go through a whole bunch of series of things that you'll see when it comes out. So it's going to be exciting. I'm looking forward to it. It should be fun. And there's some pretty cool names here, including someone Evan is near and dear to, even though not any longer, because he's no longer a Jet. Sauce Gardner will be here. Soon, Hall of Famer Adam Vinatieri will be here. Wow. I think Simone Biles and Jonathan Owens, her husband, are here. So it's going to be awesome. I'm looking forward to it.
Very, very cool. We got a lot more coming up, including your calls, 888-808-1019. It is Evan and Tiki without Sean Morash until the Carton Show with Big Mac at 2 p.m.
If you're looking to level up your
Own your moment, make it legendary. Please gamble responsibly. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Pat Boyle here to help you beat the books with Westwood One Sports. Wimbledon tomorrow on the men's side. I think the Italian Flavio Caboli takes care of business and ends the fairy tale run of the British wildcard Arthur Ferry. Caboli made the quarters here last year. He just dismantled world number 5 Alex de Minaur, and he's got revenge on his mind. Ferry knocked him out in Australia, in my opinion, only because Caboli was dealing with a stomach virus. I think Caboli gets his lick back. I'll take him to cover the game spread. I'm Pat Boyle. Bet smarter and beat the books. Download the BetMGM app today.
Fans, arrive early at Yankee Stadium on Saturday, August 8th for the 78th Annual Old Timers Day presented by Fresh Direct. See Yankees legends put on the pinstripes again and take the field at Yankee Stadium. Relive memories of your favorite former Yankees and make new memories with your family. After the Old Timers Day ceremony and game conclude, stick around to see your Bronx Bombers take on Atlanta. Get your Saturday, August 8th Old Timers Day tickets presented by Fresh Direct at Yankees.com/tickets today.
Today's match day preview is presented by Fanatics Sportsbook. Download the Fanatics Sportsbook app today. Winning hits different here. They matched up 4 years ago in the semifinals of the World Soccer Championship, and they will meet again in the quarterfinal as France will take on Morocco in Foxborough, Massachusetts. And after surviving Mexico, England will take on Norway in the quarterfinals in Miami. France is still your heavy favorite to win the title at plus 180, with only 3 games left to win. England's odds have dropped to plus 550 after their dramatic win in Mexico City. Norway are still 16-1 to win the trophy after their upset against Brazil, and Morocco are 28-1 to win it all, with markets giving them a 10% chance to reach the final match. This has been your official Odyssey Sports Match Day preview, brought to you by Fanatics Sportsbook. Winning hits different here. Listen in ahead of each match day for the latest betting insights from Fanatics all tournament long.
I'm David Ortiz. When I lost my mom, she was only 46, and I lost my dad to cancer. It was the worst pain I ever felt. It made me think, what will happen with the people I love when my time is up? That's why I have life insurance. Ethos makes it easy. It's all online, take about 10 minutes, and you can get up to $3 million in coverage.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/game. That's ethos.com/game. Paid testimonial. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
In 1977, Ford F-Series became the best-selling trucks in America.
33 million trucks later, we've kept that title every year since. And that's a formula we plan on repeating. Ford F-Series, built Ford tough. The best-selling trucks in America for 49 years and counting. Based on 1977 to 2025 calendar year industry reported total sales.
Looking for the lowest price on name brand tires? Get to Town Fair Tire and get the guaranteed lowest price on any name brand tire. Nobody beats a Town Fair Tire deal. Nobody.
Town Fair Tire. Optimal fibers in the house. Y'all know the number. 877-393-4448. Optimum fiber, so fresh, so fine. Got another provider leaving behind. Come on, everybody, let's get online. 30 a month, gonna blow your mind. 5 whole years, don't hesitate. Lock it in now before it's too late. 877-393-4448. Terms apply. See optimum.com for details.
Right now, you can grab a full breakfast at Dunkin' for $6. That's 2 wake-up wrap sandwiches and a medium hot or iced coffee, all for $6. It's quick, easy, and covers your whole morning, all in one stop. Did I mention it's filling and delicious? It's a full breakfast. It's a great value, and it just makes mornings easier. So next time you're at Dunkin', don't overthink it. Order the Dunkin' $6 meal deal. No substitutions. Participation and times may vary. Offer price varies in California and Hawaii. Limited time offer cannot be combined with other offers. Exclusions and terms apply.
This hour is brought to you by Chase Sapphire Reserve for Business. The business card that gives back all you put in.
Fresh paint inside, fresh flowers outside. Summer at your house is looking good. During July 4th deals at Lowe's, buy one, get one free. Select interior paint via mail-in rebate. Plus, get 2 1.5-gallon red, white, and blue annual hanging baskets for just $15. Our best lineup is here at Lowe's. Valid through 7/8. Selection varies by location. While supplies last. See store at Lowe's.com for details and requirements. Excludes Alaska and Hawaii.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/team. That's ZipRecruiter.com/team.
ZipRecruiter.
Hey, Boomer Esiason here. You know, in the game, you always need a backup plan, and your phone is no different. A second line from Red Pocket Mobile is perfect for side gigs, keeping your work and personal numbers separate, and just staying connected without the big carrier price tag. Starting at just $10 a month, you get your choice of 3 major 5G networks with no contracts or credit checks. Red Pocket Mobile, your new ultimate cell carrier. On the biggest stage in the world, FanDuel is changing the game because sometimes your player gets subbed off and your bet goes with them. Not anymore. With FanDuel's Super Sub, if your player is subbed out, your bet stays in. That's right. If your player leaves the match, your bet continues with the substitute. So you're still in it until the final whistle. Visit FanDuel.com/New York to get started today. Let there be goals this summer on FanDuel. Just visit FanDuel.com/New York, and with FanDuel's Super Sub, if your player is subbed out, your bet stays in. That's right. If your player leaves the match, your bet continues on with the substitute. So you're still in it until the final whistle. We all love the app around here. It is safe and secure, has all the betting markets you could possibly want, and when you win, you get paid instantly. FanDuel Sportsbook is the official sportsbook of WFAN. 21 and older, physically present in New York. For help with a gambling problem, please call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY. That's 467-369.
Listen weekdays to Evan and Tiki for the call of the day. Brought to you by Wind Creek Bethlehem. Must be 21 years or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Orgavattazona? Is that a word? In the 2026 Kia Sportage Turbo Hybrid, it might as well be, because it can be one road trip. It's all about turbocharged power and hybrid efficiency working together, so you get the thrill of quick acceleration and the satisfaction of fuel efficiency. Book a test drive and keep the adventure going. Kia, movement that inspires.
Call 800-3334-KIA for details. Always drive safely.
Sal Licata here for CertaPro Painters. You know, my home is a happy place, especially when my wife is satisfied. And that's not always an easy thing for me to achieve. But my friends at CertaPro Painters, they had no such problems. Big jobs or small, the good folks at CertaPro Painters are at your service. If you've been putting off a painting project, give them a call now at 1-800-GO-CERTA. That's CERTA with a C, and you'll see exactly what I mean. 1-800-GO-CERTA. Call CertaPro Painters today and get a no-nonsense free estimate on a professional job that you'll be happy with for years to come.
Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated right here in our community. Schedule your free estimate online at CertaPro.com.
Take the guesswork out of cooking, folks. The Chef IQ Sense is a must-have wireless cooking thermometer that eliminates under or over cooking chicken, fish, or steak. Order the newly released third-generation Chef IQ Sense at ChefIQ.com. That's ChefIQ.com.
Skechers elite athlete OG Anunoby has been making history on the basketball court.
Anunoby tips it in. Unbelievable. What a shot.
He's been balling out in Skechers high-performance basketball sneakers, and the world is noticed. But how does OG train off the court to keep in peak physical condition? Hands-free Skechers Slip-ins Aeroburst. They help prepare OG for the physical demands of playing at a championship level. Get your pair of Aeroburst for only $165 at a Skechers store, Skechers.com, or wherever high-performance running shoes are sold.
Listen to MLB Insider Calls on WFAN all season long. Presented by Grainger. For the ones who get it done, Grainger offers the professional-grade products you need, delivered when and where you need them. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by.
Gang Green fans, are the Jets ready to take the next step? Let us know what you think at 888-808-1019. The WFAN phone line is powered by Paramount Plus. Paramount Plus presents the biggest summer in UFC history.
And this Fan Focus is brought to you by Chef IQ. Watch the game, not the grill. ChefIQ.com. According to Scoopy Robinson, the Golden State Warriors are not in the running to land LeBron James. He also reported that Clutch Sports is merely using the Warriors as leverage in negotiations with other teams. It's not clear as of now who the frontrunners are to land LeBron.
It feels like it's Cleveland. That's the vibe I'm now getting, I think we're all getting, which is that this is an elaborate final plan for LeBron to go home for the third time. First via the draft, second when he left in free agency, when he left Miami, and now this time. That would be my guess. I'd almost be surprised if it's anywhere else. Going back to Miami, like, what does that do? Philadelphia, I mean, in terms of winning a championship makes the most sense. And I heard someone make this point. I forget who it was. It may have been Bill Simmons, so I'll give Bill Simmons credit. That, it may not have been him, though, so who the hell knows, that LeBron may have looked at the adulation that Jalen Brunson and Karl-Anthony Towns and all the Knicks are getting for winning a championship. And in his brain, he could be saying to himself, look, I've already won in Cleveland. I've already won in Miami. Golden State's won a million times. If I'm the final piece that helps the 76ers in the city of Philadelphia win a championship for the first time in 44 years, I'll be an icon there. And by the way, that's true. Like, even if he wasn't the face of the team, it's more Jaylen Brown's team or Joel Embiid's team or VJ Edgecombe's team or Tyrese Maxey's team. If LeBron James is a part of a Philadelphia sports team that wins a championship, he'll be an icon there. Like, that'll be one city LeBron can always go to and be assured to get a standing ovation. So that would be, I guess, the only motivation, but I'm still thinking it's Cleveland. The other thing is Ben Rice has indicated on social media that he will be participating in the Home Run Derby. So congratulations, Yankee fans. A reason to watch Monday night. Ben Rice, Home Run Derby. I think we're all past the whole we get concerned that this is going to lead to a batting slump thing. I think we're all past that. But hey, I think it's for the kids. That's what I've learned about the Home Run Derby and the All-Star Game. I used to be really into it. In fact, I was into it past being a kid, like into my 30s. But I always think of Spike Eskin saying, grow up. In a lot of ways, Spike, I haven't grown up. But in one way where I have grown up, not into the Home Run Derby or the All-Star Game. Like, I finally passed it. I don't even know if I'll have it on. Like, I remember last year, I was in Europe. I sound so snotty. I was in Europe during the All-Star Game. But I remember hearing about the swing-off. And I'm like, what? There was a what? That's how little I cared about it. Now, this year, I'm not in Europe. Do I put it on and just out of curiosity watch? Maybe. But I can tell you this. I've scored every Met game. I don't think I'm scoring the All-Star Game. I don't think I'm doing it. It's been a while since I've scored an All-Star Game, and I don't think that streak is going to end now. So congratulations, Yankee fans. Ben Rice in the Home Run Derby. Is Pete Alonso going to be in the Home Run Derby? You don't have to be an all-star to be in the Derby. I'm curious. Like, would Met fans care about that if Pete Alonso's like, you know what, screw it. I'm going to do it again. We all know how much Pete loved the Derby. All right, let's get back to your calls. We'll finish with you. 888-808-1019, the number. Big Mac, Chris McMonagle solo on the Carton Show coming up right after this. Let us go to Eddie, who's calling from Rockland. Eddie, you're on the Fan.
Hey, what's going on, fellas? Love you, Tiki. Question for you. Before the Yankees, Tiki, question for you. Your old Giant question. No, easy. No. Back in the 95 to 01, when I had tickets, there was a woman who sat there, was in blue sequins, and she was at every game, and she was very buxom. And everybody said that was Christopher Mara's girlfriend. Is that true or not? You know what I'm talking about, Tiki. You know who she was. She was.
Well, here's the good news. I'm going to cut that question, and when Tiki's back, I will play it for him. So even though Tiki... Yeah, Connor, can you have Tiki answer that question with just sound clips of Tiki Barber talking?
You're dead to me.
Okay. Wow, that's tough.
I'm banning you from the station.
Whoa! Oh, all because of a question about a buxom lady? Damn.
You're...
Get the... What I will do for you, Eddie, because Tiki had to bow out, and thank you for calling attention to that. We could have gotten away with it for 20 minutes, but you, of course, had to ask a question to Tiki Barber.
Right away, too.
Right away. Didn't even waste any time. I'm going to cut that question, and when Tiki is back with us, I will ask him. So I will fulfill the promise of the question, but I can't even sit here and speculate. I have no idea whose girlfriend it was. All I can say is I never hooked up with her. That's the only thing I could say. I did not have a sexual relationship with that woman. Okay. Miss Buxom girl who went to Giant games. I had nothing to do with it. Let us go to Gavin in Woodbridge. Good afternoon, Gavin.
Hey, good afternoon, Evan, Tiki.
What's up?
So I just want to have a quick Mets take. I'm in my early 30s. Most days, April through September. I look forward to getting off work, throwing on the Mets, going to a few games in the summer. But they've hit the point of irrelevancy. And tonight, normally, I'd be building my night around 7:15 start, be looking forward to it all day. It'll be an afterthought tonight. I'll check it a few times. If anything, it will just bring me frustration seeing them, with a 2-game winning streak, blow a late game tonight. I give you credit, Evan, because I don't know how you do it. For every game, continue to go into these games. But I'm sure I'm not alone feeling this way, and I think that is by far the biggest failure of this season.
Oh, great.
Stripping a lot of fans of our summer. I'll hang up and listen. Thank you.
No, it is a great point. Like, think about this. If you scored our show today, and by scored it, I mean you broke down everything we talked about. We did a lot of soccer. We did a lot of Yankees, and there was a little bit of Mets. But what's funny about the Met talk is zero of it had to do with the game they played last night. Zero. There was no breakdown of Juan Soto's Met moment or Devin Williams blowing a save or Luke Weaver being a hero. It's more, are they going to trade this guy? Should they trade that guy? And that's where we are in the Mets season. And that sucks because while people still care about the Mets, they don't care about the day-to-day of the season, unlike the Yankees, who played a huge game last night. I can only answer for myself, like I'm going to tonight's game, and I'm excited. And I think a part of it is a habit. Like, it is a habit. I bet you Big Mac would do the same thing. He's never been tested like this because he's a Yankee fan. And, we joke about it, but it's so true. The Yankees have never had a season like this. You got to go back to the early 90s, and he don't remember that. I don't remember that. But I have a feeling for some of the diehard fans, it's a habit. Like, even when your team is buried, and I have no illusions that the Mets aren't buried or they're going to unbury themselves, it's almost like a force of habit to watch every game and be invested in it. Now, I admit I watch these games a little bit more comatose than I did a month and a half ago in terms of my stomach and the way I'm reacting to every pitch and every sequence. But maybe it's the habit or maybe it's the need and the want to have baseball be relevant in the middle of July. But yeah, I'm still into it. Now, I can't blame you for not being into it because you're not alone. I'll take a picture tonight when I'm inside Citi Field. There's going to be a lot of empty seats. A lot of empty seats. In fact, I had a great conversation with my wife. One of the reasons I am going to tonight's game is the giveaway. I'll be perfectly honest with you. They're giving away a beach towel. And as my wife says, I'm sick of the bobbleheads. Get me a beach towel. And I said, you got it, baby. So they advertise it as the first 18,000 fans are getting a beach towel. And my wife says, you may have to leave early. I said, what do you mean? You got to make sure you're one of the first 18,000 people to get a beach towel. And I'm like, baby, they suck and they're playing the Royals. I don't even know if 18,000 people are going to show up today. So I don't think I have to worry about being one of the first 18,000 people. I would point out that you may want to get there early because there will be, if I had to guess, a special video tribute. Because tonight at Citi Field, Seth Lugo is facing the New York Mets at Citi Field as a member of the Kansas City Royals. And I have no recollection of Lugo facing the Mets since his departure, which was years ago, to be honest with you. Let's go back to talking about a real team, the Yankees. Rob, or I should say Bob, is in Rhode Island. How are you, Bob?
I'm doing all right. I'm not doing too well as far as the Yankees, though. They miss Stanton and Judge. I also think that Hal Steinbrenner Jr. is a cheap SOB. He doesn't spend money like his father did at any expense to win. The Yankees have won one world championship in the last 25 years, and Cashman's got his hands tied, and that Steinbrenner Jr. should sell the damn team.
Well, what if I told you, Bob?
Aaron Boone.
Okay.
You know, his hands are tied also.
Okay.
The only time they were in the World Series in the last 25 years. Well, I shouldn't say that. The second time they were in the World Series. They had the guy that went to the Mets, Soto.
Yes.
They refused to re-sign him. And so that's the problem. Hal Steinbrenner Jr. is the problem. He should sell the damn team.
Okay.
His father must be turning over in his grave watching what's happening.
I tell you, poor George has spun over like 150 times, according to callers to WFAN.
Every show.
Every show. I realized halfway through that phone call that me debating him or debunking him was not the route to take. That the route to take was let the man finish. Let the man go on his diatribe. Let the man get the emotions out. Because at the end of the day, even if 75% of the things he said were factually inaccurate, I think that was like a therapy session for him. Like it made him feel better to talk about that. And so I know that there were many in the car saying, hey, Ev, you want to correct him on the Hal Steinbrenner Jr. part? Or do you want to correct him about the spending? Or do you want to tell him Juan Soto's name? Or do you want to do any of that? You know what? I don't think we need to. I think a part of WFAN is letting things out. You don't need a know-it-all host correcting the mistakes you made or even disagreeing with you. There'll be other times for disagreement. I think that was a good get it out. Just let it all get out. So again, if you're just tuning in, it is all Hal Steinbrenner Jr.'s fault. Let us go to Michael, who's calling from Massapequa. What's up, Michael?
Hey, what's up, Evan? See, my whole thing is Cashman made one horrible move, and that was Giancarlo Stanton.
Mm. Now, do you feel that way?
If he would have signed Bryce Harper instead.
Bingo. Okay, go ahead.
And went a different route.
Yes.
I think they would be in a different position right now on a one championship.
See, that's the pivot on the Stanton debate, which I think is going to be a fascinating debate for like a long time. Like, it's one of those baseball Yankee debates that won't end until it's over, and even when it's over, we'll still debate it. The caveat is Bryce Harper, because I remember at the time when the Yankees made that trade, and there were some Yankee fans, including Francesa, who worked here at the time, saying, I don't need another right-handed slugger. I don't need My attitude was, he's a great player. He makes them better. But the caveat was, were they better off saving the shekels that they used to absorb Stanton's contract to sign Bryce Harper? And my answer was yes. And I remember Joe completely disagreed. That's how long ago this debate started. Joe was a Stanton guy. Flat out, like, I like Stanton better. And then there were some that were Manny Machado guys. And so it became this long-form debate on, if you didn't trade for Stanton, the Yankees would have been better equipped to sign either Manny Machado or Bryce Harper. And to me, if you're making me choose between those three guys, strictly as baseball players and what I knew at the time, my answer would have been Bryce Harper. Now, the caveat to all of that is how clutch Stanton has been. Like, if Bryce Harper is here and he is signed instead of Stanton, I think we all agree from a health perspective and from an ability to go play first base perspective, or maybe play right field or whatever they would have done, I think the Yankees would have been better off in the regular season. I think that's a tough one to debate. But the thing we don't know about, even though Bryce had his moments in Philadelphia, that home run against the Padres that sent them to the World Series in 2022, how would have Bryce Harper failed in the biggest of moments? I don't know. It's one of those dopey, fun hypotheticals. You know what you should do? You should call up the guy after me and ask him his opinion. I'm sure he's got a lot of theories on that. I would assume he's a Bryce Harper guy. That'd be my guess. I would assume he'd say, yeah, you know what, Stan's been great in the playoffs, but yeah, I would have gone Bryce. But that's one of those old debates that it ain't going anywhere, that's for sure. Well, I'm not going anywhere, at least until I take vacation. I'll be back tomorrow at 10 a.m. If you missed any of the show, you can rewind it on the free Odyssey app or download the Evan and Tiki podcast, or you can check out the latest Rico Bronya that even though on YouTube's claims it was 2 hours, Hoff fell asleep. He was very tired. It was more like an hour. So you can check that out, but you can also check out my friend Chris McMonagle. He's coming up next. It's the Carton Show. Enjoy the rest of your day. Goodbye. And Connor, you're the best, even if Boomer doesn't know who you are.
This is an Odyssey Sports Minute.
Speeding catches up with you. Paid for by NHTSA. United States